independent team that long, it's hard to imagine that they're going to be really like having sort of like vengeful thoughts about bringing down NAF. I feel like that's unlikely.
Yeah. I think it's understandable. I think, especially if you get an offer from Liquid, you know, one of the premier teams in the region. I think that obviously makes sense.
It slightly does. Liquid versus Renegades here. Map or game number 2 of day number 2 of the SLTV Star Series. Get your friends involved. Get everyone going. We've got 2 streams and a lot of Counter-Strike to come. Renegades on the T side. It will be counter-terrorist side for Team Liquid. And we have 1 HE grenades. No smokes either. Always interesting when that happens for Liquid. That means sort of defusing the bomb in the middle of A or B bomb site with no smoke can be really tricky. So remember that.
Yeah, really, you kind of have to bank on winning some of the initial fights. Twist just looks away, as it seems Renegades is going to start peeking out. Definitely hears the footsteps. Now they've picked up the pace, and that is a nice shot. That is a good start. Twist is going to fall back, still back towards mid, going to try and get more. He's exposed from different angles, but it won't matter. It's the one from the front that takes him out. Now wrapping towards the bomb train. NAF's going to add 1 on top, and they're picking these players off before they can get into the site, but decent trades from Renegades.
Jacob coming in with a good kill on NAF. Still a 3-on-3. The bomb has been planted, and let's see if they're going to miss that smoke. Steel, great long-range shot against Azza. He's also the one carrying the kit. If he goes down far away from the bomb, that is going to have a really big impact on the round. JKS and Jacob, I feel like they're not exactly in great positions. They can't help each other out all that easily, so they might get isolated now, trying to get way down. Jacob goes down, and now it's just JKS left. 1 versus 3, and Nitro's going to be able to take him down. Defuse well on its way. So Liquid will pick up the pistol.
Yeah, every time Renegades turned a corner and had any kind of distance between them and Liquid, it was a nice headshot, a crisp headshot coming out from one of the Liquid players. And a team ace, all 5 players on Liquid getting 1 kill.
It's very true. I'm not going to be happy about that, but Renegades still get the bomb plant. So, and they are actually going to invest more than I thought into this.
We just chatted about this in the last game as well. You know, it seems so long ago. Hellraisers versus Heroic. A second round buy after you get the plant instead of waiting so you can get the AKs out on the third one. So risky, but it does. At least it allows them to have the utility with these pistols as well. So you can kind of create something, and we'll see. They want to go towards this inner bomb site. They're doing it slow. And actually, if NAF walks right into this, and then Steel is in an awkward position, this is huge. That's a big fight. Obviously, does good damage with the kill, but the M4 is missed, and now Steel is kind of trapped. He's got to stand his ground. He's got to fight to the death here. Not able to complete the kill, and then they line up for him at the end, but they've given over an M4. The flank from Elige is pretty much going to seal this round for the Team Liquid side, and obviously now he's got to book it to salvage the rifle. And he's got it.
Job well done. That definitely looked like it could have got much worse. I think one of the things that saves Steel a bit is the fact that the first headshot he got was from a Glock or something, I think.
Yeah.
So if that had been like a Deagle or a C-Set, that probably would have been the end of it. So yeah, just a little bit of fortune going Liquid's way.
Also, it's that aggression seems scary, but it also, the fact that they took the fight to Renegades actually prevents them from using all that utility that they invested into, which is kind of a bummer. So if those nades and smokes and flashbangs come out during an execute, there's a chance that Liquid gets caught in an awkward situation, but it gets negated. This time, no armor, and NAF gonna push up. Wants to go hang out with his old teammates in the bathrooms, and now he's got to fall back, and it's not going to happen, so that's a good kill. Steel is here. The Molotov is going to isolate JKS, and this is awkward for Steel, and he's just going to spray and swing out wide. That's the bomb as well. And a nice fire kill.
Parting gift. Nifty and Azza left. NAF getting denied that early aggression there, but they sort of make up for it. It's a good decision for Steel not to wait around forever on that A ramp, or in the B ramp, just because you never know if there were going to be more people coming around that corner. Tapping away, eventually Elige picks up the double. That would be the first 3 rounds going in favor of Liquid. Now, instant AWP buy picked up by Nifty. Just go on straight for it. No head armor on him. It's a really, really minor detail, but when you are playing against FAMAS, that MP9, and even the M4s...
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just one random stray bullet, and maybe even not even random. So yeah, that'll be something to keep your eye on, especially if he's taking those duels in mid, and maybe you get some of those shoulder peek shots coming out with the rifles. See how it goes, but we know Nifty can work some magic with that weapon. And Liquid going to use the opportunity to get in towards ladder room. They've got great positioning at the moment with Elige and Nafly doubling up there. And Nifty and mid jumping across, trying to find information to go for a shot.
Elige being a little bit tricky. That smoke works in 2 ways. One, it might trick someone who's up the ladder to think that they smoked it off and therefore no one is going to be there, but it also works as you can see a sort of slight one-way smoke in case they come out main. So I mean, yeah, it's a good trick, good attempt.
I think to be honest, that smoke play to kind of fool someone into thinking there's going to be no one in ladder room is kind of done with. I don't think everyone's getting caught off guard. Well, there's that M4 headshot under the unarmored AWP. Just what you were talking about, Anders.
Oh god, I'm sorry, Nifty.
You've cursed him. Elige with the precision, and now going to push up towards Ozza, but the shadow gives him away. And maybe a little bold from Elige, being nonchalant and walking up into that angle.
Naf is pretty close here with the MP9, and he's got half health, so maybe he could stop the bomb from going down, but they're getting picked off by JKS. So 4 versus 3 here, one-man lead for Renegades. Would be a big round to turn if they can really early on. Azza is going to be going down against Twist, and they need a bomb plant at some point. Flashbang there, going to buy them maybe a little bit of time. 3 on 3, and Steelers on a flanking mission, so they need to move at some point here. The bomb is finally going to be planted, and no one there to stop it. Naf had fallen just a little bit away. Twist turning around for the flashbang. That's such a great read. What an incredible player. Going to be a double kill for him. That was so well done. He just saw that coming. Turns for the flashbang, gets the kill. Now it's a 2-on-3, and JKS is going to be going down. That was Steel with the flank coming in, and Ustillo, the last one left in a 1 versus 3. He does get the first kill on Steel. The bomb's still ticking. There's the double, looking for Naf. And Naf already revealing himself. Really hard to win this one. He does have the kit. He gets the spray through and almost gets the kill. Tapping on it once again. Ustillo's going to go wide, and there's just not enough time. Naf has to fall away. Ustillo somehow winning the round. My heart goes on to Twist. That was very well done.
Yeah, that really was. I don't know how he read that coming, but it was great. That's tough for Liquid, obviously. That's a small bonus round with some of the SMGs. They gave up way too many kills in kind of the middle portion of that round. You know, Elige walking up like that was kind of a free kill. The pick-off from JKS on the Nitro, who's shoulder peeking in towards mid. That's an opportunity you don't want to give away. There was a big conversation on the desk about the post plants and how sometimes, you know, Renegades historically has had some good game plans and struggled. One of the ways that Team Liquid has improved as a roster is in those post plants, and that's kind of where I've seen some of the biggest strides in their gameplay is the way they kind of play the post plants. So look for that to be a big thing, even though they lose that one.
And it seems almost unfair. Renegades win the round, but because it's a 1-on-1, they get to buy a scout and a Galil, and the other team has double AWP. So, you know, that's
life's not fair.
It just is not. There's no way to get around it.
Well, at the moment, the scouts winning out. They've tagged Twist down to 30. That's a bit brutal. And with his rotation away from Ivy, this is a bit sketchy because no one has eyes on Ivy, and Renegades is already to the end of it. And there's a good segment of time there where if they had just looked right instead of left, Elige would have just been a free kill. Tense situation. They're already on Ivy, and Liquid has no idea. They have no clue this is coming, and you can still just keep walking. There's the spot from Nitro. Gets the dink. Not able to complete it. Elige wants to follow up, but he can't. Good trades from Renegades coming out into the outer yard.
They're so far back in the yard that you can see someone like Elige, who's the only forward player. He's just going to get wrapped on really quickly. That's a great kill for Twist. Bomb is going down on the other side. They're trying to get the shot that get the leg through on JKS. I absolutely love it, but the kill would have been exactly what they needed. Still a 3-on-3. Steel trying to get up, see if they can isolate JKS. He gets a headshot regardless, and Jacob there to follow it up. Really good hold for Renegades. Great play in the afterplant.
Yeah, that double plant really backstabbing Team Liquid. You could see that trade onto JKS on the trade would have come out if Twist didn't have the AWP. He got tagged by the scout, and the reason why that defense was so out of sorts is Twist, after getting tagged down to 30, goes with the low HP to trade the AWP over, or trade his rifle over to Nitro and take the AWP, and that took, I think, much longer than they expected. And because of that, they had 3 players bottled up at that bomb site, and then Renegades was able to take advantage of the negligence towards Ivy. So a good start for Renegades. I mean, yeah, Team Liquid wins pistol in the ensuing 2 rounds, but Renegades winning the 2 first gun rounds is great.
I'm so excited that people are shooting under this train, Moses.
That's made you more excited than I think most clutches.
Yeah,
in this event so far.
It really is.
Yeah, you see clutches every day, but you don't often see them shooting under trains.
No, and here's what's really fun.
Yeah.
You can throw grenades under there as well.
Ooh.
You can throw flashbangs and HE grenades.
Do they actually do damage?
Yep.
Because the grenades get a little bit finicky when there's
No, they go all the way under. They
Okay.
actually come out the other side.
Cool.
So you can shoot under that train with a Glock. You don't need an AWP rifle. It does full damage. So just trying to push this narrative a little bit more. Oh, that's a great peek. The only AWP they have, and Naf and Charger picking up that shot against Nifty. That's going to be very annoying.
They've got to do more of that. Ooh, the spam coming through. I think he actually just tags Zaza on the second one, down to 65, but that's a good kill onto Elige. But they need that AWP to stay aggressive and stay peeking into these choke points because they don't have anything else to really fight with. Nitro is going to be alone towards Inner, and he's only got a USP. Jacob, I believe, has been, he's going to be pushing up, and ooh, they haven't actually spotted Nitro, so this could get clever, but Naf equally has no idea Ustillo is wrapping around him, and that's going to be an easy kill. Great job by Ustillo. Nitro now. That's a good one. 2-on-3 situation, and I'm struggling to find the best outcome of this for Team Liquid. I think it really is salvaging that AWP and the AK-47 if Nitro can find that.
Yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, he didn't really have a chance to pick up the AK, but it would have been great if he could have. JKS spots him out once again. He's just trying to be a little bit more annoying. There's the AK finally. It's a really good attempt for Nitro, but ultimately, I guess he still buys a little bit of time for Twist to run away with the AWP, and I think you're right. That probably was the best case scenario. Renegades equalizing right off the bat. Yes,
very quickly as well, efficiently. With the AWP, though, I imagine Team Liquid's going to buy in this next round. Yeah, certainly, especially with the AWP. Nitro's got 4,700. Twist will be able to drop that over.
Now, the next thing we need, Moses.
Yes.
And train. Now that people are shot under the train, that's step one.
Okay.
And the next thing we need is the wall bang from the T side of main, or I guess the T side of main, all the way down to Ivy.
Yeah, that one is cool. I saw that on Reddit.
Yeah, you can shoot people all the way through.
That's pretty cool. That would be perhaps one of the more frustrating ways as a defender to get killed.
Yeah, it's possible. So I'm just saying it. It's going to be my new mission now. Now that we've got the first one sorted.
Been waiting a long time for that as well.
It's been a really long time.
I've had to listen to you complaining about that bomb train.
Moses is the real victim in this scenario.
As usual, I am the victim. Nitro.
We all have roles in life, Moses.
Nitro's rotated towards Inner with that AWP to peer up towards the top ramp. Steel playing at that off angle inside the bomb site. There's not a lot of utility left. Only Twist has the kit, and here they come. Steel's got a big job to do. Misses the initial shot. Nitro has seen nobody yet, and Steel's actually on top of fire. On top of the tray, they line up, but he can't complete either of those. He's got him down so low. 24 combined HP on Ozzo and Ustillo. There could be easy kills. Look at this flank from Elige as well. Elige's going to stall this round out. Here he comes down that lower ramp. That's a huge kill combined with Nitro's nade. And they've thrown this round all over the place. Renegades has no clue what's happening.
No, complete chaos at the moment. Elige actually keeps pushing for a little bit. That could be scary. Now it's a 3-on-3. But there's no bomb plant happening at the moment. And part of that is also due to Steel throwing out a Molotov before he went down. That was a pretty good job on him. Nafly is gone. Next in line, Twist with a big double. Leaving it in a 1 versus 1. That bomb plant, much needed. And JKS, I wondered for a minute if he was going to try and run for the other bomb side, but instead he goes for the fight and he's going to win it. Gets the headshot, picks up the AWP, and Renegades making it 4 in a row. That was weird.
They recovered very nice from that scenario. I thought at least surely those 2 kills that him and Nitro get when he flanks down were going to kind of end it. And in a 3-on-3 with Renegades players all over the place, Ustillo gets a couple nice kills. They even survived the ensuing double from Twist, which is craziness. So really well done from Renegades. That's kind of showing a poise that is not always there for Renegades.
No, and you could even, I think you could have made an excuse for them if they had lost that round, because that is kind of a tough situation when you just, you don't even get a chance. You're still up against unarmored targets, having a really great time. Scout will take care of him, but yeah, that's not bad at all.
Now, if you are a Liquid fan tuning into the game, you get a little nervous when Ustillo starts kind of going on this level of a start with his 10 kills and also the high impact kills, because he is one of those guys who has just a game every once in a while where he just entirely takes over. And if he keeps going in this trend, it might start to feel like that. He's one of those guys that just seems like the role he plays in this, when the kills go his way, they're all just high impact frags. So
yeah,
good start to the game for him.
I agree. He also sort of, at least from the outside, he looks like he's one of the more quiet players on that team, sort of personality-wise.
Which is impressive.
Yeah.
They're all quiet.
Yeah, but, I mean, some of them have a little bit, I feel like, a little bit too. JKS is a fun guy.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, so I think when that works, like when he's doing a really good job, I feel like that's going to sort of inspire the rest of the team to do a bit more.
Well,
You gotta hope.
you gotta hope. There's always hope. Another double off setup coming out for Liquid. So expensive CT side that they want to fall into. 2 kits on Steel and NAF.
Did we talk about JKim at all? Just because I feel like in the Norwegian region, he got kind of outshined by obviously Rain suddenly just being in contention for maybe one of the best players in the world all of a sudden, and that's obviously incredibly impressive. But JKim has really nuts mechanical aim, like robot level aim sometimes. It's really scary.
Ooh, nice adjustment from Twist. Coming down, and Liquid want to get aggressive in towards Team main. Yeah, I think part of the thing that makes it difficult to kind of really have a conversation about JKim is it's been a while since we've seen him competing. Like, he was one of the guys who kind of got lost in all of the star power on the original phase lineup, right?
Yeah.
Through their different organizations and iterations, and then he's just kind of been out of action for a bit. So, some flashbangs over mid. Renegades take back their portion of the map. Ustillo burning down to 60. But advanced positions for Liquid are going to make this tough. Mafly still pushing in with the cover of that smoke. Ustillo was isolated from Aza. It's going to be a nice kill. 5-on-3 here for Team Liquid. And now, if you're Liquid, if you're this defense, you kind of got to say, we have it's our round to lose. But not only that, we need to keep people alive. So don't risk too much here.
I'm almost a bit shocked that NAF doesn't trade with Twist for the AWP in this round, because he's just 25 health and they sort of had the time for it. Maybe they didn't want to make the same mistake again, spending too much time with it, but still, 28 seconds and Renegades need something. A bomb plant, a couple of kills, anything here to make this round a bit sweeter. It's obviously got really tricky in JKS. Well, NAF waiting. I mean, now if anyone else comes down, they're definitely not going to check that corner, are they?
No, certainly not. And Jacob actually coming back, I think he gets surprised by Liege. That's one of those kills that probably makes him jump. Less than 10 seconds. The round's obviously over, and all Aza has left to do is save. This will be a 4th for Liquid, but still, pretty good position that Renegades is in right now. They're going to be upset that they don't get any kills in this round, but the aggression from Team Liquid in different portions of the map kind of took some steam out of their idea, and obviously the pick from Twist onto Nifty was nice. Nifty had 1 kill.
I don't really want to see that too much. It would be great if he could get into playing. He's really fun to watch, I think, with the AWP when he gets going.
Yeah, he's one of the most exciting players to be in that NA region as well, certainly. And intriguing in that, he came, obviously, the story's been told, he came from Call of Duty, came from console, and then he's become an in-game leader for this team, and he's definitely a big responsibility for why this Renegades lineup has been exciting. Good job by Elige in the face of the flashbangs and the flames. He gets a double kill as he retreats. Nifty does hold the angle and picks him off as he re-peeks. But likewise, the ops from Liquid ring true at range.
And look at the flank that's coming out. NAF, as soon as all of that was happening, he decided, I'm just going to give up on controlling the yard, and instead I'm going to push Ivy and flank it behind, and that seems like a very smart choice right now.
I'm wondering if that's maybe a conversation that Liquid had, maybe like NAF was, because he played with them for so long. Because if you think about it, Liquid's been pretty aggressive in a lot of these rounds. Like, you think back to the 2nd and 3rd rounds where they're pushing inner, Elige has been flanking up ladder, and maybe NAF knows something where he's just like, listen, these guys, especially if they start losing some players, are a bit weak at watching their flanks, so make sure we're making those plays.
So just a spy, in other words. He's been on the team for a little bit.
A traitor and a spy.
A traitor and a spy. Exactly. And now he's just joined the other side, giving them all the intel. Can you, maybe that's how you do it in the future. When you sell off one of your players, you make them sign like a contract that says they can't talk about like any kind of strats when they're on the new team.
Seems relatively unenforceable.
Yeah, but just hire really good lawyers, Moses. You have the other team record all of the team speak conversations.
Yeah, and send it over.
They have to submit them. Everyone.
That seems reasonable. 5-5, tactical pause for Renegades as they try and figure things out. They're going to be sitting this round, spend it on the sidelines in a way. Only have pistols. CZ on Ustillo. This freeze time kind of comes to an end, and again, the money's going to start building up for Liquid. That's a couple rounds they've survived with multiple players.
Yeah, 11 rounds into the game, 5-5. I think Renegade's going to be quite happy, winning 5 in a row. If they can just get a little bit more on the board here, it's going to be a pretty successful first half for them.
Yes, you've got to be. If you're the Renegades, you're pretty comfortable with where you're at the moment. You obviously want to get more, but you're happy so far. There's the jump up, there's the cross, and the leg shot from Twist. And the nade out. Ooh, it does catch him. Right off the wall. Bank shot. He called it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It looked like it was gonna. I always wondered if it was gonna get caught on the side.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna bounce right back at him.
Yeah. Justillo doing a little dance on the ladder for a moment. Wants to go, but also kind of doesn't. And right into Elige's M4. JKS and Az are the last two left to try and do some damage. JKS is going to at least get the deagle shot. Feels like, oh, well, headshot. Not bad.
Elige and Twist leading the way for Team Liquid, both at 12 kills. Justillo still stuck at 10. He hasn't gotten anything since I gave him that shout-out earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, the good old caster's curse.
Yeah,
everyone
love to
loves
it. We'll be interested to see what Renegades does. Remember, every time they've had like Nifty with that AWP, they've given him a decent amount of time to try and find a pick. I know one round he was taken out by Nafly with the AWP. One round it was Elige with the M4 who took his head off in the main choke point. So he's had a tough time on this T side with the AWP trying to find something for his squad. Twist even took him out one round in a heads-up duel towards Ivy. Using that smoke now, it's not going to happen. But certainly this Renegades lineup would get much more dangerous if he gets switched on somehow in this game.
You really need to have the confidence some of the time if you want to go for those AWP battles, and you lose too many in the beginning, it can definitely have an effect on just how your mindset is when you go for one of those fights. Hopefully that won't be wearing too much on Nifty early on here. I mean, it's only the first time for the first map, so plenty of time to get warmed up. Got to take a longer perspective as well. This is looking very tactical, so you know.
This kind of defense on the CT side always makes me a little bit nervous because you are giving a lot of ground towards Ivy. Even though you're watching it, it can be tough. And they've actually readjusted it again, so even more room is given over towards Renegades. They're going to wrap around towards the inner bomb, so they're going to try and split this, which is not easy. Twist has already spotted it out, but there's the kill onto Steel. Now Naf has got to do everything with it. AWP gets one. Molotov is down, but it's not enough, although that's the bomb. The bomb is currently in the flames, and Justillo's got to wait, and this has got to make you feel nervous at the moment.
The devil is going on, Moses. They've got 25 seconds. The bomb has now been picked up. But if JKS goes down, Elige's walking right into that headshot, so that is an absolutely critical kill. Nitro is going to be going down as well. JKS is locking out the round. Fantastic job on Renegades, in spite of just, you know, a moment of panic as the bomb just disappears. Twist is going to pick up the one. He's got the AK in a 1 versus 2, but they really should not be giving him much of a chance to take this fight.
Yeah, but Liquid's got plenty of money. He can definitely go for this. It's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, especially considering where the bomb is planted. That spam comes through. Oh, he doesn't realize that he's actually tagging someone, but that could have been an ideal opening kill to start this off. And I think now, if you're Twist, you give it a good shot. You just give it up, and he's going to get taken out from behind. Justillo returns the favor. Headshot to the side. 3 kills for him in the round. And it's 6-6. Like I said, Liquid has plenty of money, so they're not going to be put back onto pistols or anything like that. But Renegades in a scenario where they can reset the economy late in the half.
That was my favorite strategy, Moses. The smoke towards Yard, the wraparound. It worked.
But you saw a lot of the risks. We also got to see why it gets so scary. I mean, I think Twist almost landed that shot as they crossed towards CT spawn.
I didn't see any risks at all, Moses.
And then obviously the bomb being dropped and barbecued.
It's been tried once so far in train, and it works. It's a 100% success rate, Moses. Just 100%.
It's an adequate sample size as well. I like it.
You're not a scientist, are you? I mean,
no, I'm not.
I'll do the stats. I'll find all the rounds where someone did that.
All the rounds. I mean, Liquid's really loving this double up setup, and it's actually astounding that they haven't been reset more ever since they've kind of brought it up. Just a testament to like when they win those 3 CT sided rounds that they had in the gun rounds, they won them pretty convincingly.
6-6. They're really keeping close right now, which is obviously going to be favoring Renegades in the long run. Grenade, looked like the timing is pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad damage at all. We talked about the different sort of AK versus M4. When you get that kind of grenade in, it sort of equalizes the fact that the M4 does a little bit less damage. So it's definitely not bad. Oh, crouching in. Steel going to pick up 1 kill in return. And the bomb is dropped once again. Renegades, they're a little bit unfortunate where this bomb goes down. And it could actually cost them again. Jakim is going to go down, and Asa next in line. Elige and Naf to close out the round. So Liquid now coming up a bit on top. And also finally closing that Renegade's economy again.
We saw this yesterday, and it's showing up here again today. Steel does a really good job with his movement and positioning at that inner bomb site.
Yeah.
And I think he realized as well when his teammate died, the rotator and connector. He realized that with the attack coming towards the upper ramp, the only place he could really go that was safe was towards the sidewalk. And jumping up, he gets one more kill onto it as he pushes up, delays the plant, forces Renegades, once they eventually win a couple fights, that they have to go way out of their way to get the bomb. It's a really nice job from him. Naf's going to get aggressive. Ooh, and he's going to get some free kills here. That's nice, and they're going to walk right into it, although only the one nade out. That could be huge, but he threw it for the shallow, so it doesn't quite land the kills, but JKS and Azza down below 10 HP.
Yeah, the damage has been done in a round like this. I mean, no armor and that low. Can't imagine that working out very well for them. I like the fact that Naf is just trying to be greedy with that SMG, just farming up the money. It's a bit of a shame. Everyone loves a good spray down.
Yeah.
The Eco Cobra, I think, to pull out, you know, ancient term.
Yeah, everyone, those are always fun. That's like what makes you really get excited when you know it's around like this. He's pretty much pushed up every time he's realized it's going to be an eco, so bummer you could only get the one kill, but obviously with the damage, and somehow the defense falls asleep there and lets them out upper, lets them get a kill, and lets them get a plant. No real risk of them losing this round, but obviously don't just want to be giving up free plants for no reason. That's going to help Renegades have a much stronger buy in the next round.
Yeah, it absolutely will. Taking away a couple of rifles, not going to make a big difference because Liquid did have the money to rebuy, and we're going into the 15th round here. Still 8-6, and yeah, Renegades are they're looking more composed than I'm used to. I feel like they're hitting a higher level of Counter-Strike, which is, I think, exciting.
It helps that they got their luggage in.
Yeah?
I believe. And I might be making that up.
Bit of a luxury.
It was supposed to come in yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun when you call the airport and they say, you know, maybe tomorrow. Maybe.
It blows my mind that all 5 of them lost their luggage. Like it was everyone from the team. It wasn't just like one person's. Short connection, I guess. Either way, Nitro with the AWP, and actually they ran right through his flames. And I think Nitro's got to laugh at that one a little bit because he was not expecting that whatsoever.
What just happened?
I don't know. Oh, Jacob taking a big risk. That Molotov's not going to do anything. Elige actually is probably thanking him for that. There goes Nitro. Azza sneaks out to Olaf's spot.
You have to admire his incredible dedication to taking that fight.
Look at the flank. Twist is already wrapping around. This is going to be, he's going to destroy everyone. 2 kills for him. And that should be a 9th. It's a 1-on-3 for Ustillo. And even though he's had a great game, that's a bit too much. So despite a really rough stretch in the middle of that, a 5-0 run for Renegades, Team Liquid actually come out with a big advantage. Well, not a big advantage, but a nice advantage. Comfortable one.
I want to believe that someone told Jacob, like, we need you to take that fight and just not give up. And he just thought, all right, I'm not going to disobey an order.
Yeah.
Just stand in the fire until this works.
It is a bit funny that he just dies before he finishes off the kill, because that was going to be a kill with like 1 or 2 more shots.
Yeah, that's a bit rough.
It could have been something where like maybe like a rush was called and the rest of the team slowed down. Maybe they encountered some utility they don't want to mess with, and Jacob was just that dedicated.
Just pulling a bit of a prank on Jacob.
Hazing rituals.
It's just a prank, bro.
We can paddle you or bait you.
Yeah, it wasn't a rush after all. Yeah, but we lost the round, guys.
Yeah.
9-6, and the 16th round coming up here. Pistol round, always big. And you can tell that Liquid have 2 smokes and a Molotov, so could be some interesting stuff. I mean, those smokes are going to help them get down the sidewalk. Azza. Now, that's a really annoying thing that happens a lot here. I've noticed where people throw the smoke to block off Azza's position, but they push before it actually goes up, and then they get shot anyway. So I don't want to see that. I want that to not happen. It's actually being thrown from the other side, which is beautiful stuff, but it does leave them a little bit of room. Now they're pushing down Ustillo, trying to reposition. That's a great headshot, and a great return coming out from Twist. Still a 4-on-4 as the bomb goes down inside of the bomb site, and they still have that smoke and kit on Nifty, so he's a little bit of trouble here. Gotta fall back and just try and play it safe. Liquid with pretty decent positions in the outer plant.
That's a nice shot from Elige. Nitro up next, just biding his time, silent the whole time, and they're just losing players before they get close to this bomb. Liquid doing a very good job holding at bay. They drop down, they line up for Elige. He gets one, and surely Azza has nowhere else to go. Good pistol round from Liquid.
Yeah, not too bad at all, and especially when you have to take those forward fights, even if there weren't that many of them. Usually Nitro's position, it's just very hard to keep the focus on the bomb site when you've got to take all these intermediary fights. It's definitely annoying. But
I mean, again, it just shows that the success of that all is predicated on Nitro getting up to that position, and I think Elige was right behind High Train as well. So I mean, once you get those advanced positions, Renegades are supposed to fight the whole way to the bomb site, and you're certainly going to be losing players, because we saw earlier, I think, where either Hellraiser or Heroic, someone got bottlenecked really after the plant. They were just kind of stuck in the bomb site with nowhere to really push forward to, and that certainly spells their doom. Good kill from Ustillo, good trade from Twist. The rotations are in towards the upper or the inner bomb site, but it might not matter too much unless JK has more shots like that.
They just don't have the pistols for it. I mean, that Deagle was one thing, but JK and Azza, there is an attempt at a flank. If you can win this fight against Nitro, that would be maybe the only chance. Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to work out. Immediately discovered and forced back. So Jacob trying for something. And doesn't really get rewarded for it either. It's going to be 11 rounds for Liquid. 11-6. That's a big lead.
It really is. Outside of that one stretch, they've looked like the dominant squad. So there's a ray of hope for Renegades. We'll see what happens when the gun rounds begin. And Nifty did not invest into this round, so he's got 1,500 in the bank. He'll have that AWP first gun round. And he has just been very quiet, hasn't he? 3 and 15.
Yeah, somebody needs to get him back into the game. I suppose opening T side can be a struggle.
Yeah.
But the rate this game is going, he's not going to have, unless they really start putting a lot of rounds together, he's not going to have many rounds where he can even buy the AWP. I mean,
yeah, he's got essentially that first one, and if that doesn't pan out, then they're in trouble. I mean, they're still in trouble as it is. Liquid very convincing that time, not spreading out across the map, not allowing those CZs and Deagles to pick them off, just making sure they get that kill and they just hit the bomb site, get in, able to trade some frags, use the range of those AKs, and they're going to do it again here. Steel is leading the way outside, but this is dicey. Jacob stalls him out. There's the peek from Nifty. He's taking out good trades, but now the rest of the weaponry from Liquid gets involved, and it's all easy from there.
Kind of a nice attempt at a stack. I mean, they just got shut down at range, but I still kind of like that. 12-6, and it's been a rough beginning to the second half here for Renegades, but now they have rifles. Liquid with none of the AWPs, but Nifty has his. So this is his chance, Moses.
I think Liquid has this tendency on their T sides. They love exploiting the fourth round like low utility buy on the CT sides. I imagine this would be, if not fast paced, they're going to find some timing early on in the round where they just kind of execute and just continue to push up.
Steel certainly went for a peek in main. Didn't get a chance to see anyone. There is a bit of a forward push from Jacob down towards Ivy. It's being spotted on the other side by Nitro, but I mean they still have some chance to be a little bit annoying down there. And Renegades, you said low utility, but it's a minute and 20 seconds. They have 2 smokes, about to put up one. I think Ustillo. Yeah, so that's 1 smoke and 1 Molotov. It's not good.
No, but at least the Molotov is outside. It's on Jacob. So if Team Liquid does execute outside and they see the smokes raining over, Jacob can at least try and throw that into one of the choke points to buy his team sometimes 7 seconds to focus elsewhere. That last smoke on Renegades just used. So surely Liquid, that execute would come in soon. They have Twist with the bomb towards inner. Elige is there as well. 2 defenders at that B bomb site. Nitro, Steel, and Naf are going to apply some pressure. Here it comes. Smokes over the top. Naf is waiting in ladder room. When does he want to peek? Nifty is just out of his view. I think he walked into his own team's flash. There's the kill from Elige towards inner. They don't know Azza is still on the sidewalk. This could be a big play. This could be the play that shuts it down. They tap the bomb to try and bait him out. There he is. Good trades from Liquid. Azza was making a play, but the timing of Liquid coming down that ramp really screwed it up.
Yeah, it really did. And now Nifty's so low on health. I mean, that's a really big problem. 4 versus 3. JKS with a great headshot to take down Twist. That's an opening, but they need a lot more. Jacob coming in on the low ground, crouching his way forward. He's going to get the headshot on 1, but the trades are just so good for Liquid. And this 2 versus 2, they've got the Molotov on the high ground with no smoke currently on the CT side, so it's immediately going to get put up, landing right on that bomb, and with the lack of kits, that's the round. Like, there's nothing they can do now. And
JKS is even going to die with the bomb no matter what happens here. He is going to peek up his... Unfortunately, doesn't get the call. Oh, maybe he doesn't die in that corner with 66? Not sure. Yeah, oh, very, very close. They do evacuate, though, so the op is still going to be in the hands, and nice win for Team Liquid. And even though you're happy to save the op in one of the M4s, I think if you're Renegades, you have to buy here. You drop over that AW, or you drop over that M4, but no, they're gonna save up and go for a half buy. Some CZ surrounding this.
Is there any worse feeling when you're playing on the CT side and you hear that, even just hearing the Molotov bank up against the wall, and you know, well,
yeah, and you just know you lose.
Yeah.
No, not many worse feelings. Really good fake from Team Liquid, obviously, and sending a Liege, really nice, a really good duelist. Out to take that initial fight and find the kill. I liked the play from Ozza. It's unfortunate that that didn't work out for him because I think it was very cool. If that hadn't been like, you know, the fake coming back and 3 players coming down that ramp, I think he could have done great things.
Nifty now. AWP, he was actually trying to be aggressive in the last round, and I feel like that's a good sign, you know. Even if you're really sort of not hitting too many shots, you sort of have to keep believing that it's going to happen next round. Jacob goes down. Azza and JKS as well, and it's just all falling apart here with the A-bomb set to save the AWP once again. Liquid up now, I mean, we're sort of talking about Renegades playing well, but now Liquid is cruising straight through.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. It's suffocating. They've been very strong at trading, and I think Nifty needs to start thinking about just bailing out and going to save. This could be his plan, though. Stay close by, and maybe they won't notice you, but if you're Liquid, why not go on the hunt? Go take that gun away. You have such a big lead.
It's just kind of overwhelming. Liquid just not giving them much of a chance. Twist doing a really, really good job. The Magician.
Van Dulken. Yeah. He's done well. I mean, that's the tough part. If you look at this team and you have Twist with 23 kills, Elysian 20, that's... Even some of the best teams in the world are going to struggle to overcome that. Those 2 players are very, very good and have a lot of impact for this team. It's been 5 straight rounds on the T side for Liquid. It's been 8 straight if you go back to the first half, and it's been an 11-1 run in the past 12 rounds.
Very much an uphill battle at the moment. You still have had a really good first half, I feel like, and then it's been a little bit rough. They haven't really been able to buy many rifles, and now maybe the first time actually they get not just the rifles but some utility to work with as well. And JKS is going to pick up the first kill on Elige. That's a good opening. You still, they try and double up against him. Steel really gunning for that one, but you still was quick.
If that kill happens, if it comes out, they might just straight up win the round. Ozza out in sidewalk, exposed. Naf going to throw a Molotov, going to try and get through that, trying to help his teammate. Unfortunately, Twist can't win that fight, but Naf has gained a lot of ground. There's a good kill. Falls up as well. Headshot onto Nifty. They were not aware of his positioning. And now look at this. Naf can stop everyone. Can stop Jacob from getting involved. It's all down to timing.
They're both pushing up. This isn't one guy planting. They're just both gunning for it. They've got so much time. This is actually very smart for Liquid now. If they just don't get caught off guard, and shooting him in the back, still going to be Naf picking that one up, and he knows exactly where Jacob is. That is very interesting. Picks up the bomb and is going to make a run for it. Liquid, they're playing a pretty deep game in a round like this.
Yeah, that's a very cool call in that 2-on-2 to go all the way up, because you could have just let Naf gain that position, but they wanted to work together, and now Jacob... He's left in a very awkward position. Naf has had plenty of time to get into a different spot. This could be sketchy, though, coming around this angle. Oh, nice shot from Naf. 4 kills for him in the round. He turned that on its head.
Like, what do you even do about that? Because you still got that great first kill, and it looked like they had it shut down. And then, yeah, Naf just coming with 2 really big frags.
I think you still even got spammed through smoke by Twist. So it's like one of those, like, even if that little bit of luck doesn't go out towards Liquid. But yeah, I mean, even so, they still, Renegades have an advantage in that round. And just the confidence, and you mentioned it, I mean, it's almost like a no-respect style, but Naf just continues pushing forward at that inner bomb site, right? And it finds Ozza and then finds the follow-up. Nifty wasn't aware that he was even there.
15-6, Elige. Flashbang in his eyes, and somehow still wins the fight against Jacob. On the other side, Azza, just the UMP. Very hard to keep that on lockdown. There's a lot of trading going on. It's still a 3-on-3. You're still so quick with the flank. He made a bit of noise, but think there was too much happening in the yard that anyone really heard it, so he's going to clean up those 2 kills, leaving Nitro 1 versus 3 to try and close out the map pretty quick if he can. Nifty not quite getting that, but he is completely locked in this corner, and there's no way out of this. Fire as well, Moses. There's overkill at this point, isn't it?
You got to feel so depressed at this point. A second Molotov as well. Good flank from Ustilo down ladder. A couple of kills from him. That was Liquid just wanting to end things, wasn't it? Just like basically just a ladder rush. They almost traded their way out of it.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I think they win the first fight, and then they run into the UMP, and then JKS. It's like it's just too many fights at the same angle. You know, every time you win the next kill, you think that's it. Now we're out, and then no, we're still fighting. Like it's just, and they all sort of stand on top of each other when they're trying to get out ladder room anyway. So
right,
bit unfortunate, really.
Well, they still have at least one advantage over Renegades, and that's the AWP on Twist. So Liquid playing a little bit of musical ops. Nitro, Twist, and Naf all using it at different points throughout this half.
Here, Jacob, you're not loving this situation. The Molotov is going to crisp him a little bit. He pushes on through and actually tries to beat the timing. I think Steel might have seen that. It's going to be the battle continues, and Steel gets the headshot on Jacob. Big opening.
There's the flashbang he heard that caused him to turn around. Nice trade. Molotov into the choke point. Naf going to make gains towards the bomb site. The reaction is there, but not the kill. Nifty still alive, and 2 Renegades players out here. Nifty and Ozza. They've got to hold on. The AWP trying to keep them locked into the bomb train, and there's the frag from Twist. 1-on-2 scenario. He's going to get aggressive with the Glock. He knows he's low. He's found it, but the follow-up from Ustilo, there's the peek. And Twist isn't ready for that angle. Isn't ready for the follow-up from the same choke point. What do you think, Anders? Is the comeback going to happen?
No.
All right. Poor guys.
I just doubt it, Moses. I'm not seeing it. I do my best at reading the future. I do, for those who know me, I do make a lot of really mad predictions about what tends to happen in the future, but not like this. Yeah,
it's been hard on you now that you're not really in control of things anymore.
Or am I? Nifty is going to be taking down Nitro. Of course, they have very limited armor and utilities. You can't expect much out of them in this round. So just a moment where Renegades get to feel a little bit better about themselves, pick up a couple of good rounds and kills. And I think the problem is so many of these rounds that Renegades have won here in the second half.
Yeah.
They are just like mad trading, where it seems like Renegades sort of barely make it out. You know, they just happen to get the right trades at the end of it. But I can see a world in which, like, if that just goes wrong even one time, then that's the map. You know.
Right.
So I think Liquid are fine with just continuing to try this. You know, let's get out Pop Dog early. Let's get out main.
Yeah.
Let's just keep fighting. Eventually, they're going to make a mistake, or one of our grenades is going to force someone out, or anything like that, and that's it.
Yes. They've tried. I mean, they've just been very aggressive. I think you're right about that. A lot of these 3 wins, or the first 2 certainly, maybe not that third one, but the first 2 wins they've had in this 3-round streak have been great trades back and forth for both teams into like a 3-on-3, and then the next kill just goes Renegades' way, and they kind of scrape it out. We'll see what they've got. 5 AKs, no AWP on the Liquid side of things. That's a good shot from Nifty. He's down to 34. JKS is forced back. Ozza and Ustilo under ladder, or in ladder room. That'll be a quick flank if this hit does come in. And 3 players from Liquid are here. Nitro's out towards Ivy, so essentially you feel like Liquid's endgame is here at the B bomb site.
Be great if they could have made some noise over at Ivy, but now that they've lost everybody over on the B side, it kind of feels like that doesn't matter. Nitro was lingering around, so I was thinking if he takes a fight with Jacob and wins it, there's a chance. So Ustilo gets himself killed. Got to be very careful here. If Asa goes down, it could get a bit dicey at the A bomb side.
Was it 2-on-5, Anders?
Yeah.
Let's keep your eyes on that.
The kind of rounds you don't want to lose, even if the map wasn't going all that well for you. Just no reason to give it up in that situation. Nitro getting a headshot. So now 2 versus 3. Nifty, can he get the flick? He's already aware that someone could be up on that train. He actually does see the head, but I'm not sure he registered it. So now he's going to fall back instead, thinking maybe it's a double fake. And That's going to give them a bomb plant.
Yeah, what they're doing is they're falling back because Jacob's on the long flank through Ivy. He's coming all the way around, so they don't want to get killed before he's in position to make this happen. So they're allowing him the space to work, which is actually pretty smart. Twist is going to tap, see if the retake comes in for that. Nifty's now getting into position to perhaps stop the plant. Nitro checking for it, but he's just missed the timing.
He was always going to get shot in the back. There's Nifty gone down. Nitro was not realizing, didn't see it. Jacob actually goes a little bit early. He's got a great lineup, but they do get the kill, crouching into the right angle. I was worried that they were both going to peek him at the same time and get shot in the face, but Renegades survive. They've got 10 to 15. Another 5 rounds in a row, and we're going to go into overtime. That would be exciting.
That would be, and now you got to say, decent round from Nifty there with some nice shots. And Renegade seems to be getting involved, and now you're seeing the timeout out of Nitro. They've lost 4 in a row to allow Renegades to get to this point, which is going to maybe not make you nervous quite yet, but it's got to be in the back of your mind. You have to say, all right, guys, like we've tried, some of the crazy stuff, some of the rushes, see if we catch them off guard, and it hasn't happened. So let's make sure we close this out now. So they're going to do a half buy out of this tactical pause. CZ's the Deagle, and how many times have we seen a game end on this? A buy just like this.
More times than I would like, Moses. Every time...
It's like, 5 gun rounds go the way of Renegades.
Every time some of my soul leaks out into the universe, and I don't get it back,
That actually makes a lot of sense. It explains a lot.
It does. Oh, man. Is Nitro the odd one out? Is he going to buy an AWP in the later round? You think probably yes. No.
But, no, he will. They have a 4-round losing bonus, so it doesn't matter if he buys there.
All right, excellent. Don't want to give that opportunity away, I feel like. But let's see what they can do. C-Sets, the whole train running towards the B-bomb site. They're going to be greeted by Azarin, who's still over on this side. Azza, really, really great position and just a beautiful spray. Nothing else to say about that. The quad kill coming through, and yeah, he handled it perfectly.
No celebrating. Everyone's calm. Some fist bumps. Kassad clapping. All right, well, that was fun. Nice for Azza. Now 15-11. Liquid has 4 more match points. This was at one point 15-6. And they've struggled to close it out. AWP is going to be in Nitro's hands, and they have full nade kits on the other 4 players with AK-47s. That was a really nice sequence from Oz. I know it was just against pistols, and I know he's got, a really nice positioning and everything, but you do love to see that.
Yeah, it sort of suggests that as a player, he's sort of dialed into his game a little bit. But
there is also that we talk about it every once in a while. Those kinds of rounds are... it's like the stat padding, right? But at the same time, there is like a certain feeling to it where, that makes you feel a little bit more confident as a player, especially for someone like Nifty. I know he had a round a while ago with the AWP where he had a couple free kills, and that always helps get you back into the game. Just 2 easy kills to get you on the board, make you feel a little bit better. So, Azza is a player that you don't want to catch fire this late in the game. How does Liquid want to take this? Elise just toying with the ladder, taking a little bit of damage, but finding the information.
It looks like they want to go for the double drop, so he spots it out. There they drop down, but what a great return. JKS absolutely manhandling them. Elise and Nafly, no chance at all. That was just beautiful.
That's a bit cheeky from Liquid, trying to get away with one there. JKS not to be denied. What comes next for Liquid? Nitro really hasn't done anything with his op quite yet.
If Steel can move a couple of steps to the left and take a line into the bomb site, maybe he can catch someone who's sort of moving around. Like, it's a big risk, but I feel like they need to find a way in.
This is, I think Azza is, what is he, up top? Yes, so he's watching for that cross. Okay, that's what I was wondering, because it didn't look like from the minimap that anyone from Renegades really had eyes on that, but good positioning from Azza to make sure they had all their bases covered, and Nitro with the op. Run back and save. He's got no money. He's got exactly $0. Even with the full losing bonus, I'm not sure how much Liquid's going to be able to invest into this, because they're actually running out of gun rounds to go for this.
Yeah, I think the rest are going to be able to buy. Yeah. Is it 3,400 at the end of the... So, yeah, they can do it, but they've got to be a little bit worried, This is starting to go the wrong way. There used to be a Team Liquid meme that involved...
What do you mean, used to be?
Used to be. We're still keeping it alive. Some memes never die, I suppose.
This was sick. This was great from JKS. Nice transfer onto NAF.
What's your favorite meme, Moses?
I don't like the... I don't know, actually.
You're about to say you don't like memes?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough thought. I'd have to think about that one. I'll get back to you in the second map. You can ask me that question again.
I was just
I'll think about it during the break.
I'm shocked.
Ooh, there's a pick. Jacob shoulder peeking, and he actually gave Nature the opportunity once or twice before that. I'm surprised he didn't kind of see him, but I mean that's certainly going to help Liquid out. Have trouble closing an opening pick is always very nice from your Alpert.
Jacob going to be frustrated. There's no way, because he wasn't trying to fight. He just wanted to sort of get some information down there. Was just shoulder peeking the angle. Just took a step too far, and that was it.
Well, Renegades has to have a read. I don't think you can rely on Azza having a fast flank from ladder room. Usilo is all alone at this B bomb site, and he's actually on top of the bomb train. So if they find that information, and I mean, with a 5-on-4, you don't have to commit everyone to the inner site. See Steel watching the flank, watching for this. Everyone's going to come down lower ramp. Smoke's there. You still have a big job to do. They haven't spotted him yet. There's another kill from Nitro. Now it's given up. They know he's on the bomb train, peeking out the side. They know he's dropped. He has to do more, and he has, but there's too much trading going on. And into a 2-on-2 for the game, for the map.
Oh, nifty. This would be the time to actually win it. Nitro going to move away. There was a bit of a fight with Steel trying to come down Pop Dog, and he got taken care of by Azza, so 2-on-2. Bomb planted. They have no smokes left, but there are no grenades on the other side either. And they need to make up their minds, Renegades. They can't wait forever. There's Nifty taking the kill on Twist. That's a huge frag coming in. One missed opportunity. Nitro, he's not going to have that many more. Is he going to try and reposition? Already on the defuse, trying to see if he can make it work. Jumping down Nitro. Oh, he gets the shot right through. What a ridiculous kill. Taking down Azza. And surely that's it. Nifty. He's going to be slightly panicked. And there it is. 16-12 as Team Liquid make it through. That was a godlike shot. Nitro waking up right at the end.
Where did that come from? That was a very dirty shot. And he actually even got Azza off the bomb. But that was great. Really struggled at the end. Nice comeback from Renegades to get up towards 12. And I feel like there's an element of a sigh of relief from Liquid. Taking some heroics from Nitro, the new primary opera for the squad.
Yeah, I think you could even see Sue sort of running his fingers down his face there, like, yeah, ooh, that was...
Thank the Lord.
That was a little bit too close. Yeah, well done. I don't know, like, Renegades were off to such a good start, and then they sort of came back into it at the end, but there was like a whole portion in the middle that was just missing. Yeah. Which was...
I mean, I said there was what? It was like a 12-1 run before like Renegades started back up, so you just can't... That can't happen.
Yeah, don't want to see that. Hopefully it's going to get better on map number 2 that is coming up next. But first we'll have a bit of a break. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
Close but no cigar, a very, very familiar story for Australian fans and Renegades indeed, as players didn't go out down for them well on train, and another victory for Team Liquid on the map. Does look like their success rate is getting into the 90% region for the last 3 months. That's rather crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Chad.
Hey, man. What's going on? I thought you were going to join me with this fashion. I did this at DreamHack Winter too. And people think I don't realise it's done up, but it's done intentionally.
Should I give it a go?
Yeah, I think you can pull it off.
Why is that?
Well, you're a fashion icon, so that's...
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Yeah,
cheers, man.
This is how we should live. But anyway, I was... me and Gomez were chatting while we were watching the game. We're having a good time, and he made a funny remark. He said, well, we couldn't beat Liquid with NAF, so we'll give it a crack without. And still couldn't do it either. But no... I think you know, you look at a lot of those rounds, the game wasn't very close. It was close in the beginning, and then, you know, Liquid went out to that massive lead. It looked like it was all over. I went to the bathroom assuming things were going to be finite. Came back, it was close, and I had to watch from behind the Renegades players, and I could see, you know, how everything was unfolding. They still were keeping their heads held high. There was a lot of scenarios, especially when we got to that end, losing that 2v1. That's pretty crushing, but they had some rounds go their way like that. You still had 1v3. That was pretty nice. Yeah, and I mean, Estilo, not necessarily the clutch. You already described him as the kind of, I'm going into the site first and I'm going to kill everyone. But this is a game where you can see when he was finding the space and getting away with that, and he was actually finding frags, not just entry fragging, but when he continued, he's very fast-paced, right? And you can see him catching those Liquid players off guard in a couple of the rounds they won anyway, on that T side. But yeah, that's the you still I know and love. It's what's so kind of agonizing for me is that Riz, after our conversation, and because we had extra time, we really did get into the thick of it. Yeah, we did. But after our conversation, you do notice, after, you know, the interviews we've heard from Kassad as well, we've heard from a multitude of different sources, those mid rounds are such an unbelievable problem, to the point where, I mean, Yanka, you were watching the same game as us. Did you start seeing those blaring? That's an expression.
Yeah, I know, but not as much. I actually think they did a pretty good job early on in the game. You know, they lost the pistol, they were 3-0 down, and they end up winning 5 rounds in a row. Yeah. They stabilized the game back into their favor, so to speak. And, you know, obviously Liquid did manage to mount a mini comeback towards the end of that first half. I love the B split that they executed, because they figured out that Liquid, you know, plays Ivy, but not towards the dark or back of Ivy all the way, but more so towards the side. So a B split was actually viable. They executed it really well, and that was the potential breaking point for Liquid. If Renegades would win the following round, that they could really run away with the half, but wasn't meant to be. And in the second half, it was all Team Liquid.
Look at that tidy KD ratio from Twists. Nice. That's neat and tidy, isn't it? Put a bow on that. A solid 2.0 KD. So here's one where the entry frag stat actually comes in. You still, as the entry fragger on the T side, we saw him actually making that space and finding those opening kills. So there's one where the stat actually plays into a person's role. One that I think, you know, people probably didn't realize is the sense of when Naf was in Renegades, he took over a lot of JKS's roles, right, doing the lurking stuff, and then Justin was doing things which he isn't quite comfortable with. Now that he is no longer in the team and they've got Jacob as the stand-in, JKS is back to his role, so we're seeing bigger numbers from him on the board, you know, a lot more crucial clutch anchor frags that we saw coming out there. Yeah, absolutely. But Twists, you know, we talked about the Magician a little bit just yesterday about his underperformance, and it did seem to be just a tiny little drop in the pond, and in reality, Twist is still back to his fragging ways. In fact, you know, was it you, Yanko, yesterday who said that because there's so many big personalities and so many people that can frag now, there's a little less pressure on Twist?
Yeah, it was something along those lines. It was about, you know, underperforming a little bit at the major, where he maybe could have been the deciding factor for his team. But we also talked about how he is still an extremely young player. You know, there's still a lot of CS ahead of him. So as long as he takes it as a learning experience and it helps him to shape himself as a player, then it's all good in the hood. I think the problem was, again, Nifty. One of the reasons why Kassad wanted to pick Train, even if it was Liquid who made the pick, was because he thought they had an opping advantage, right? Because there's no real opper, so to speak, on Liquid. Nifty could potentially take over the game, but you saw he only had 10 kills. Granted, 2-3 of them were opening kills, but what are you doing, Chad?
Fidgeting with my shirt.
Like, it wasn't nearly enough to take down Team Liquid. They needed much more from Nifty, I feel like, in that game.
Yeah, I mean, Nifty is such a kind of an interesting conversation himself, just the fact that he has been, to most people's standards, very impressive, considering not only his history, but just the fact that He's a flashy orb.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's when you fall into the trap a little bit, right? Because when he has a great game, everyone remembers it. You remember that wall bang on Cash, the two of them. You remember the flicks on Cobblestone and so forth. But how consistent is he actually? I'm not calling him out for being like super inconsistent. You will have to look into it. But that's the thing, right? When you have operas like that, maybe Shazam is similar, Michaelele before, Roll Dead, guys like that who can be very inconsistent, but when they have a good game, it's a great game. So you tend to maybe overestimate them a little bit. I think for Nifty, it's definitely the highlight rounds and the flicks are all fun and great to have, but I think always that's just a bonus on what you should have as an opera, the fundamentals and being consistent and delivering for your team.
Yeah, consistency is key, and consistency is what Liquid have right now. They've been consistently bringing the wins here, and they've managed to pick up another train. We're going to take a break. When we do come back, we're going to be talking about map 2 in the series and see if Renegades can take us to a third. Stay tuned. Then we see what Renegades can do versus Liquid. We've already seen Train, and I believe we're going to Cash next, which is going to be a bit of an interesting question mark for our analysts to decipher. We have Chatty B and Yankee P joining me. So, gents,
Stop that. That was the last time you called me that.
I might squeeze in another one at
He
some
still
point.
calls me Sponge. I don't like that.
Yeah, but you don't have the authority to make him stop.
Well, I mean, I can call you what I want, right? It's just whether you like it or not.
I think he's threatening violence.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Okie dokie. Well, let's just stay on this one shot while Yanko cools off a little bit. Yanko cools off a little bit. You see that? I got you, man.
You see, Chad? It works like a charm.
You just have to do the stern gaze and the strong jaw. Anyway, starting with you then, Yankee P. Let's talk a bit about Cash. I want to talk about Cash for Chad.
Cash.
He's going to do the staring thing.
I can take it. I'll
maybe
take
you
it.
should.
Look, I think this historically, has kind of been a weird map for Liquid over time that, as we can see right there, they don't have too many victories on it. They lose to domestic opponents of Luminosity, Cloud9. They did beat Complexity and our boy FNS.
That's true.
But, I think Liquid has kind of steered away from this map, whereas it's been a Renegades map for some time. I think it's because it can be more free-flowing and they can snowball a bit more. I've already touched on how you still with the entry fragging once he finds that timing in space. I think Azure is in the same boat, at least when we used to play domestically in the early stages of our international careers. But when you look at this as a whole and you think about a lot of the factors that play into this isn't necessarily a map where, not having a main AWPer is going to affect Liquid too much, because if Twist picks it up, if NAF picks it up, if Nitro picks it up, you can use it on the CT side basically anywhere. It's the T side where it will probably become more of an issue, but I don't even think it's necessarily needed while you're running a lot of T strats on Cash.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it. Sorry, Yanko, to interrupt. I was just going to mention Cash and Nitro used to be quite a deadly combination.
Yeah, but I think at this point it's like so far gone that it's not worth mentioning anymore. That was when he was just breaking out in the scene. And looking at Renegades as a result, there are a lot of wins, obviously a high win rate, but as you can see, it's not really comfortable wins, right? It's close games, then grinding it out, which is also a good sign being able to do so. So they are picking here towards Liquid's weakness, not towards their own strength. It has been a good map, but not great.
I think Renegades definitely, we already touched on this, but won the veto hands down in the sense that Yanko said Kasab wanted to pick Train, Liquid picked it for them, and then they got one of their better maps of Cache coming in here, which is a Liquid weakness. So they have to be happy with the maps and the way it's gone in this scenario. It's just the fact that you slot a new player in like Jacob. I know that Liquid also have NAF, but it's a different kettle of fish for me. It's a different variety, because Jacob's not going to be given, hey buddy, where do you want to play? They're not building the team around him. They're not going to give him any allowances, whereas NAF is probably going to have a bit more freedom. Like Steel is going to take the bad roles, I suppose. Nitro probably do the same thing, and they give NAF places where he feels comfortable. Where Jacob just there, I don't even remember where he used to play on Train, but he was playing Vines or Ivy, right? And that's not necessarily a fragging spot.
And also Cash is more straightforward if you are a standing playing for a team, right? Coming into a bomb site on the T side, there's not as many angles you need to worry about, especially if you're using some utility as well. On the C side, on the CT side, as you point out, it can be a bit more free-flowing, right? Run around, do some simple setups, play for each other. The Renegades are loving it. Seems
that knife round.
Yeah, Kassad's signaling to Zeus because they're sitting kind of side by side. I was standing out there watching them as the last couple of rounds unfolded, and there was one round where the Liquid guys were holding onto the AWP, and Kassad obviously can't talk, and he wants them to chase, so he's standing there doing this, like hoping that they know like to push up. And it's just like the frustration you can see, like they know that if it takes AWP away, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's fun to see that dynamic play out.
It is, and it does seem like fun is the key word here. Renegade smiles on their face, and they're coming into Cash with a positive mindset. They're going to need it, as they're going to have to take Cash to stay afloat in the series. Let's jump back in with your casters then, and they're hanging out talking about Cash.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Alex. We are going to head into the game. It is Liquid versus Renegades. Map number 2, match number 2, day number 2.
A lot of twos. Where are you going with that one?
I wasn't going anywhere with it.
All right. Yes, and it is going to be... I mean, I thought I was actually surprised. I didn't realize that Liquid had lost with like 1 and 3 on this map with this lineup. That's a bit worrying. But yeah. I think you also have to look at guys like Elige and Twist and how well they played on Train, and so you give them the open space of Cash, and this could turn into a nightmare pretty quick. So it would be fun to see, especially considering also like the reliance of Liquid on the double up setup on that CT side of Train.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy watching this map. I think Cash is still a really, really fun map, so I'm sort of ready for it.
This is the map you think is the dark horse to be taken out next?
Yeah, well, I just said that there's a case to be made for it because it's the last non-Valve map in the pool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Valve have any specific desire to control all of the maps, but I can see an advantage in doing it, like having sort of full creative control over all of it.
Okay.
I just think, I mean, I obviously want Cobblestone out, so I'm not trying to advocate for for that, but yeah. I mean, I want Cobblestone out or changed in some way. And I can't think of like any really sort of like...
Good changes to fix it?
So hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we'll see if that ever actually happens, because Dust has been released for quite some time, or Dust 2, the new one.
Yeah, it has, and people seem to be enjoying it. Like a surprising amount of people, I feel like, are not complaining about it, because people tend to complain about everything, no matter what it is. Just as long as it's new, people are just ready to really be angry.
It is Dust 2, though. It is like the most iconic video game map across every video game ever created in the entirety of the world.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we are going live. Everyone's readied up, about 3 seconds away from the Pisteron. Team Liquid is going to start on that CT side. Renegade's going to be on the T side, which you could argue like this is one of the maps where the T side starting is even a pretty good advantage. All things considered, we see some T sided halves on this map once in a while. Actually, I would say with decent frequency.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it can be a bit deceptive sometimes. People tend to overreact a bit. If someone gets up to 9 rounds on T side, they sort of say, "Oh, that's it, it's all over," and it definitely is not. One smoke there, picked up by Nifty. A couple of flashbangs on him as well. A kit on Twist. So we'll see. Looks like they might be playing something of retake on A, which is pretty common.
Yes, it is very common. Although, to be fair, when you play retake on A, there's a little bit more presence in the B bomb site. Naf and Twist were both by the truck, so perhaps some miscommunication. The bomb is all the way back in T spawn at the moment, so I think that's fortunate in that there was pretty much zero chance of some kind of a heavy assault pretty quickly while Naf and Twist kind of figured out that situation. Nifty running back to get it at the moment.
What a teammate.
Yeah, what a good guy. Boy, they need him in this game to get back into the series. Down 0-1. And Azza has been boosted up with Ustillo. Nifty with the utility. You imagine he's going to use that to help his teammates get out, perhaps. And there's a decent duel. Flashbang coming out just a tad bit late. Elige not affected by it whatsoever. Nifty's going to follow up with a bomb. This is an attempt at a mid-B split. And I think that's mostly been spotted out.
Yeah, they should have a good idea, but they're still not rotating that many people over now. They are starting to draw Twist back as well as Elige, so one good kill here to slow things down is all they need, and they're going to find Nitro in the back. That's a big kill for Ustillo. Now they can focus on the rest, but Steel coming in with a great headshot. He's going to get taken out in the meantime. Looked like he could have had a double there. It's working out in favor of Renegades. Oh, Naf coming in with one big kill on Azza, and now JKS right below him. They have no idea. This is a really bold play from Naf. And JKS with the bomb, going to try and make the jump up. He's caught out in the open for a minute. Very low enough, but the headshot is going to seal the deal. JKS, that requires a bit of guts to try and go for that kind of peak.
Yeah, I actually really like that play. Naf obviously had him fooled. JKS had no idea it was coming and just misses a couple shots, and obviously running low on bullets, and there's nowhere to kind of go from there. So that was a play that really needed to land that kill within those first 3 or 4 shots. But nice job by Renegades. There was actually a pretty decent amount of defense mounted there even after Nitro went down in checkers. 1-0. Liquid buying up 4 CZs and a Deagle on Twist. I think the fun part about this map is it's always a unique experience to see how teams kind of handle mid, because no one likes messing with mid on this map on the CT side just because it's so difficult to hold it. So it's always fun seeing how they mix it up with aggression in towards A main, aggression towards B bomb side. Are they going to stack mid?
Yeah, there are some character differences between the teams. There are some teams I feel like who like to do it a lot. Good flashbang and a great follow-up kill from Nitro. Love to see that.
Yeah, that was very cool. Obviously a planned peek, and Alza's going to sit this one out. A little bit fooled by that. Now, because of all that attention, they have given up mid, and this is what I'm talking about. They have no control of mid, and they need to gain something somewhere. So, smoke out towards the squeaky door. Nitro and Naf now pushing up, and I don't think they're going to slow down whatsoever. The rest of Liquid rotating over towards the B bomb site. If they can stall out this hit for just a little bit, those flanks are going to be so brutal. Ustillo wrapping around through checkers. The CZ from Steel, he's got nowhere to go. No one else inside the B bomb site, but they need to hold on a little longer, and it's not happening. It was almost there. The idea was there, and just didn't quite come to fruition for Team Liquid. So 1-on-3.
Yeah, it obviously seems unlikely that Twist is going to be able to win this, but there was definitely a moment where that was, I think, scarier than maybe Renegades realized right away.
Yeah.
Could have got very much out of control. Now they should be in a perfect position, and Twist is just hoping to get one more kill somewhere.
I think the timing of that hit, I think Liquid was kind of slow to react and to rotate over towards the B bomb site. If they were able to actually get in the site before Renegades, like, he threw the smokes and executes and flashbangs, I think that would have worked better. Just not able to do it. Good start for Renegades, though. They had that really nice start on the T side of Train after losing the pistol in the ensuing 2, and they went on that nice 5-round streak, but just couldn't hold on.
And you want to see Renegades, I think, off to a good start with the new roster. I think it's going to be, you know, a better team building experience for them if they can sort of do a good job right off the bat.
The interesting thing is, I think this, Jacob's not an official member of the team, I don't think he's been signed. I think they're using him as a stand-up for this event.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if, like, maybe he's kind of, like, plays his way into the roster, or if it's just kind of a Band-Aid for the moment.
I just feel like they've been hovering so long in that, like, sort of close to making a big position, but not all the way there. So, just, I feel like they need some success soon. This round is looking great. Twist and Naf, 2 versus 5.
They had some success when Naf was on the team. They won that event, the StarLadder event, actually, in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Beat Virtus Pro in a BO5 finals.
I feel like that's... Yeah, I'll give him that. I was going to say...
Yeah?
I think that was one of those, like, weird events where... Like, yeah, just maybe, like, I don't know, a lot of other teams didn't show up.
Okay.
I'm not trying to, like, you know, undermine them, I'm just saying.
Sure.
Okay, maybe I am Moses.
Yeah, just trying to make that as politically correct of an answer as humanly possible. I'm really struggling with it. 3-0 for Renegades. They're off to the races.
This is not bad at all.
This is interesting. Tactical pause on round 4. And you can see Kassad, like, immediately huddled into the ear of Nifty, even though they're wearing headsets and on TeamSpeak. But really making sure that him and Nifty are on the same page in terms of how to play out this T side.
Yeah, you want to see that. This is a kind of a critical round. Again, every time you're in that 4th round, CT's just able to buy. You obviously want to inflict a lot of damage onto them, and maybe this is going to be a good round for that. They've got a lot of utility. There's so many Molotovs. They can be used on either A or B. I mean, there's just...
Or mid.
Or mid, yeah.
Yeah. If you look back over, like, this map and, like, the previous, you know, the history of CSGO, as it's been played over the few years, there's been such cool Molotov strategies. I think this is probably one of the maps that lends itself most to different Molotov tactics, which is really, really cool. You don't see somewhere like the same full-blown firebomb the bomb site executes as you used to, but it still plays a big part. Part of it is that the meta has always shifted for the CT team on how they use their smokes to prevent those kind of huge fire executes from being impactful.
Smoke towards the middle on the CT side, just making sure they don't have to focus on everything all at once. And Nitro, I think, realizing if I take a fight here, then it's just my head showing most of the time. Might not be worth it. His whole job there is just to spot for the information of, like, what the timing of when they take mid. He doesn't actually want to take that fight. He just wants to know that they're out. Man. Or not out, for that matter. Steel is going to be in an awkward position. Naf might be able to help him out for a bit, but this is kind of a you know, all or nothing position. Naf waiting inside of the fire, going to try and go for a late peek. There's Steel picking up one, but he's got so many angles to work with, and that was maybe never going to work out exactly like they wanted. Nitro couldn't even get into position. There was a Molotov waiting for him. So very well done. Renegades opening up the bomb side. Looked like they had everything planned out. Using the Molotovs to deny Naf, to deny Nitro. And Steel had no backup at all. Liege getting shot in the face. Asa getting that one for the double. And Twist now probably just has to back off. Yeah, Liege had a chance to make a play there. Just as we talked about how effective Molotovs can be. One falls into checkers, forces Naf to make an awkward play, and then obviously Nitro with the response had a chance to kind of hold down the fort for his teammates, but when he transitions over to that headshot spot, there's fire already in the ground, so Molotov's netting Renegades at least 2 kills in this round, which is very nice.
Twist not even able to land that kill, even though it looked like it should have been one. And Oz's going to take the guns away. So Renegades being ruthless in this round in a 4-0 start.
Yeah, that was so well done. You could just tell that they had it all planned out. So you like to see rounds like that when it just sort of clicks into place. You're still out a back 10, and that's going to be just a great buy here. They'll have a little bit of armor on Steel. Is anyone else going to pick it up? Doesn't look like it. So yeah, he's going to have a good time with the Mac 10.
Yeah, he should, certainly. And definitely if there's going to be a stack, which you kind of see 3 players heading over towards A right now. Elish has that pop flash for Nitro and Steel. So if they hear a decent presence in A main, you're going to want to get that out. At the moment, though, it's only Ustillo, and he's got his back turned just for that very eventuality. And here it comes. We'll see how it plays out with Ustillo. And actually, he gets taken out no matter what. Some decent kills coming out for Liquid, but nothing that's going to turn the round in their favor. And Twist had a chance, and Elish still being here as the last one, tapping away with the AK-47. It's pretty difficult to hit for some time, but JKS cleans him out.
Deny the ace of Jacob. That's just bad manners. Always gotta do that, Moses.
Deny the ace?
No, give
the ace?
Yeah.
No, aces are to be earned, Anders.
Really?
Yes.
You wouldn't give me the ace if I...
Absolutely not.
It's heartbreaking.
I might even TK you depending on the scenario. Double op setup. We saw this all day on train with the Liquid defense. Always a pop flash. Do they want to get aggressive? Here they are boosting over. That Elish eats that one. This is looking good for Renegades. This is why it can be so difficult to defend mid, but look at the play. Elish has actually gone into the smoke, and that's the bomb. He can actually make this work. Tries to go over to the AK-47, but couldn't find it. All of his teammates are falling, though. This isn't ideal, and even Jacob even smoking off the bomb for himself, but like I said, everyone else is dying, and poor Elish is so alone.
Eventually he's going to get flanked, so the next fight is going to be against Azza. Elish kind of sees it coming, but Azza just had a superior position there. And that will be Nafly. 1 versus 4, and a lot of chaos in the middle. I mean, when you're fighting through the smoke like that, it's hard to tell who's going to come out on top. But I think Renegades did a good job of slowing it down. You know, once they realized we're not 100% in control of this mid fight, so everyone just stay wherever they are and keep Elish on that side, and then pick up the rest. Yeah,
not panicking, because I mean, if they could have, really gone crazy and had someone jump back into the smoke to try and recover the bomb and take that fight, and then you just start bleeding players out. But yeah, really good job. And that's also speaks to what we saw in train, the resiliency of them being down 15-6 or something like that, and then making that big comeback all the way to 12. So just showing this Renegades has really stepped up their performance in terms of the mental aspect of the game. 6-0 as the double op setup, the heavy investment into that is punished and destroyed from Team Liquid. So they're going to have to do another round of pistols and an MP9 on Elish.
And they don't even take one of the AWPs. They just don't even care about that. You don't really need a one on T side, Cash, if you don't want it.
You can see that previous round is really like why so many teams have an issue with the the CT side of Cash is there's actually 3 players from Liquid were in middle. Yep. And it's just like, if you just catch an awkward timing, it's not even like a fancy flash. It was like underhanded through the smoke from one player in mid, and it just so happened that Elish was looking at it when it came through the smoke and popped, and that just kind of shatters any ability for that 3-man defense to be coordinated in any kind of way.
Yeah, and one of the 3 was by sandbags, and he was Molotov and smoked out at the same time. So like he just couldn't really...
Just to save his own life, he had to smoke himself off, and then that obviously denies him from being involved.
So a little bit of rough turn of events. Yeah, you're right. It is not easy, but the consequences of not holding middle are also pretty severe.
And that's why this can be such a T-sided map, and that's also why a lot of in-game leaders, especially, I think this map is kind of a nightmare for them.
Yeah. I really like it. I think it's, even though it's been played so much, there are so many little fun details that can still be put to use, in my opinion. He's still going to try and make his way a little bit close to the headshot position. Actually, really good job. Naf and Nitro putting in some damage. Sadly, they are going to be overrun eventually. Nitro very low. 15 seconds here. They need to get close and just put that bomb down, which is awkwardly dropped. And as that headshot goes through, if Twist had been a bit closer, maybe he could have denied the plant, but It's still possible, and you almost wanted to see him go for it here.
Yeah, JKS heard all those footsteps as well. We'd love to find JKS early on. 6 HP, 1 flashbang, and JKS is just going to hold the headshot angle for his teammate as Ozza is inside the bomb site.
Sneaking on in. No kit means he's actually almost out of time already. It doesn't really seem like it, but he's got one chance here. That's a great flick. And as was flashed, there's no way that Twist could have known that. If he had kept flanking around, who knows what could have happened. It will be the round for Renegades, 7 in a row. This is beautiful.
The great irony is that flashbang that Twist throws that blinds Ozza is what prevents him from peeking into where he was looking. So, unfortunate, but almost there. Deals some economic damage. Not the biggest deal in the world for the T side, especially considering Nifty has 11,000, Ozza has 12,500. Plenty of money on the side. Jacob has 7,500. Another double op setup coming out for Team Liquid, and Renegades sticking with this 5 AK, which makes them very mobile across this map, and they're using it to very good effect. 7-0. And that smoke is going to set off warnings inside of the Renegades' heads. There's a boost at the back there. Usilo can peer underneath that smoke and is still aware of that. He's going to get into a good position. There's the opening op kill from Nitro.
That double up setup, second time that they have it, it has to pay off this time. Otherwise, that's a lot of rounds that you're just sort of waiting to get it back and the payoff isn't there. You can't keep doing it. Yeah, if they can start winning rounds now, we still have an interesting first half on our hands, but it sort of has to be soon. And I feel like this position for Steel is just going to be so good. Everything suggests that they just have no idea. And indeed, JKS completely focused on something else. 5 versus 3.
And they almost, if you're Renegades, you almost have to pick up the pace here in this 3v5 before the rotation comes in. This needs to come out fast. Twist is the only one here at the moment with an op. Going to get into a new position, relocate. Grab an off angle, completely blinded, and there goes Ustillo. This should be a Liquid round, and indeed it will. And it could even be all 5 players surviving, which would be great considering the investment that went into it. Jacob falls. So Liquid's finally on the board in round 8. And able to make up some money to rebuy the utility. But they've got a lot of cash to burn through on the Renegade side.
Yeah, they really do, but now the game also changes a bit for Renegades, you know? They might have to change how they play now that they're up against double op setup.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing how that works out. I mean...
Well, they did beat it once or twice before, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think there are some really fast plays you can do on this map that are pretty good against just that kind of setup.
Well, Nifty grabs an off of his own, which up until now they've been playing with 5 AKs. So they switch things up. Some decent spam coming through. Jacob down to 46. Nifty had a tough time with the op on train. We'll see what he can do with it on cash. At the same bomb site, he'll at least have a Twist he can duel against. And it's always sketchy when you play this kind of game with the smoke. And he actually, I think Twist spotted something. Grabs the leg shot onto Nifty, which is going to force him to be far more passive in the rest of this round. So maybe boost him up, put him in mid, obviously, and you just kind of camp him there with that op and have him cut the map in half. Prevent rotations, prevent people from getting into vents, depending on where you want to go.
Molotov on the sandbags with nobody actually holding there, so should be just fine. 2 on the highway instead. Elige with a rifle, and Steel is actually going to be the one to pick up the first kill. That was in the vents. He goes down to Nifty, but it is still a 4-on-4. We'll see how this all works out. Naf ignoring the Molotov for the moment, letting a couple of people pass before he finally goes for the big hit. Could have been a double kill. You have to appreciate the fact that he tries to do that, because it's not such a bad idea at all. But it didn't really work out this time. Another retake in the bag here for Liquid. They desperately need it. If they can't make it work, then they're going to be reset. And Renegades, I mean, they're probably going to run away with the first half at that point. Like, it's very hard to imagine that Liquid could keep on fighting after that. Love the Molotovs bouncing right down on the bomb. The grenade as well, going to tag up Jacob. And, oh, he gets the headshot. And the return for Twist is there. So now it's all on JKS. 1 versus 2, and he's going to get dropped by Elige, so this time it's a sensible retake.
He's making sure the ops can be salvaged, and yes, that was a very good retake. A sketchy scenario almost coming in there.
You like the little detail of Twist walking out and shooting through the floor there, yeah. There are I've experimented a lot with trying to hit people in the corner from different ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it work?
Pretty good. You can actually do it from the ramp that people walk up, the one that always gets Molotovs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's... I think it's... I've convinced myself it's too inconsistent to realistically use in like a high-level match. But, you know, I wanted to do it, Moses.
Yeah. Look at this. Changing up the pace, changing up the style. 4 players towards this B bomb site. Steel not able to get anything done. And once again, this Liquid defense has been, I mean, it's struggled at the B bomb site at times. Naf has played checkers a number of times, but it hasn't really worked out for him too well. Alicia's going to push through up top, but they've lost the site. They had a trouble in the previous round with rotating over, and actually could be an easy kill, but Jacob's watching for it, and Liquid might have to give this up. Naf has to be a hero. Oh, that TK, that helps so much. That is actually a disaster, the timing of that TK coming out.
Nifty trying to bring it back, getting another headshot. Justillo's gone down, but TK's and all, they still win the round. I'm not even sure how it happened. Justillo just getting a little bit anxious.
Yeah.
A little bit panicked.
Some damage coming out. You know, Renegades has done a really good job of exploiting this B bomb site. If I'm them, I'm just pounding that bomb site until Liquid prove they can actually hold it consistently, because they've done a great job. Now, to be fair, they do have 8 rounds out of 10. So they've been winning pretty much everywhere they go.
Yeah, and the money's really awful for Liquid, but they probably feel at this point like they sort of have to try and force it, just because they can't really just keep on giving away rounds. It's getting a bit out of control. 2-8, pretty big stack towards the A-bomb site. Nobody in middle just now. Is there going to be a flashbang in? Elise setting up for it. It's a good job with the MP9, but they need more, and Jacob is not going to give it to them. Takes down Elise and Nitro, and now it's a little bit of a problem for the CT side. Continuing is Nifty, taking down Twist. Naf actually doing a remarkable job with the C-set 75, but it's not enough. Nifty doing all the work in this round, or nearly all of it, with the triple. 9-2, and they'd bought into this round.
Yeah, they really had, and now they've got essentially nothing to work with. So, big gamble for Liquid in terms of their economy in that previous one, and Renegades just picks them apart. And this isn't even really a fancy T-side whatsoever, is it? Especially now that they have such a big lead in terms of their money, they can really just start bullying Liquid all over the map. And we've seen a number of times Liquid wants to have the double upset about. They want to use 2 AWPs on this side, and they're probably not going to get it again for the rest of this half unless they are able to win a round and pick up a free one. Because next round they're just going to have to buy. They just need some of these rounds on the board. And this round, Renegades already has mid control.
I feel like almost all of the fights that happen towards mid or towards checkered mainly are just fights where you can almost tell that Liquid, they just sort of, like they've only just got in position, and then there's like 3 people on them. Like they don't get that sort of mental reset where they're like, okay, I'm here and I'm holding a corner, I'm getting some information. Like there's no warm up at all in any of these positions. They're there, and then the whole team is on them. It's so quick.
I feel like Renegades has actually a much better grasp of the T side on this map than they did on Train, and they've done a couple different timings. So essentially, like Liquid never is able to get into that comfortable groove where they know, oh, we're gonna have 30, 40 seconds of like setup time for this round. We're just going to use the utility and the smokes, and then all of a sudden Renegades is busting in when they least expect it. This has to be a buy for Liquid, and they are. They're going to bring up the M4, so no AWP is going to be on the board. Steel can buy one, but it'd be glass cannon, and he'd likely have to use it. So we're going to get a pause out of Liquid as they want to talk things over. This is quite nice.
Change of pace, I would say.
Yeah. For
Renegades, and unlike, in the first map they had a couple of moments where they looked like this, but then they couldn't sort of hold on to it. Like they took their foot off the pedal at one point, and that was enough for Liquid to come back. Now it really seems like then just not doing that, which is great news. Love to see it. Once you've got them down on the mat, Moses, just choke them all the way out.
Jesus Christ.
Even when the referee
tells you to stop,
trying to get your arm away, just don't.
Oh, you need Jesus.
Well, I don't think he does wrestling.
Timeout has ended. Oh, that's fancy.
Back to the mushrooms, are we? It's the 13th round, And we do have Nifty still in the AWP. M4s all around, that's fine. Couple of grenades, that's fine. No defuse kit, it's definitely not fine. And no Molotovs for any kind of a retake, also a little bit of an issue. Again, they're setting up for what looks like a really fast push. Steel and NAF are going to have to just hold on very well. And I'm not sure it's going to really happen. We've temporarily lost one of the monsters. So you guys still have one. Steel is going to be going down to you, Stillo. That's the first problem. Now NAF has been smoked out. So, I mean, that kind of defense is essentially unacceptable, you know? One smoke separates NAF and Steel,
yeah,
and then that's just the round. Like,
well, I mean, in their defense, they've tried a couple different looks at that deep bomb site. Remember, NAF has played in checkers a lot.
Don't defend them, Moses.
Don't defend them. Okay. But again, let's just go back to it because this is another part of Cash that is so dangerous. Is even on the T side, I mean, Renegades is all the money in the world, but even if you don't, like the strategies where you just basically use like one flashbang and essentially Liquid's smoke can be used against them because if you smoke that choke point. And you're just like looking at it to see if someone's going to come through. You eat a flash in the face, as Steel did, and they come right through it. That's very effective on this map at both bomb sites, really. So it is dangerous. And oh, see, exactly like that. Although to be fair, all the kills this time go Liquid's way. But at this point, just piling it on is Renegades, 11-2.
Yeah, I love everything that they're doing right now. That the confidence is out of control, and like they've got very good reads, you know.
I've played the core of this Renegades lineup on Cash in a show match.
How was that?
It's not fun. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Come on, Moses.
Oh. Just
somewhere in there, there's some of it is still left. Bring out CPL Moses, you know.
Yeah.
I swear you always tell me about the time you beat Kogu in a game.
That's because you have like you love Kogu. You love like all the old operas like Kogu and Markelov.
Yeah, Kogu to me is Brazilian Markelov. So
yeah, that's fair.
Actually, the comeback for him was pretty short, but it was well worth it.
Short but sweet.
I enjoyed it.
You got to cast him at E-League.
Yeah, you have no idea how much I enjoyed that. But
did you enjoy it more than shooting under trains?
That's a difficult one. No, I think I enjoyed the Kogu one more.
Okay.
Now, but the Markelov comeback Moses is going to be unbelievable when it happens, so just wait for that.
It's going to be epic. Lige with the opening kill, a 5-on-4 now for Liquid. He's got to do more, and that's nice. That's a good recovery. Shuts down Usilo before we can get started. Finally, some signs of life out of Team Liquid. They desperately need these last two rounds if they want to be able to come back into the second half. You need to have something you can work with, and Lige waiting for that. So he's got 3 kills, found 3 individual fights.
Nifty sneaking in. He kind of suspects that this is happening. I think he actually went for that peak for that very reason. It doesn't work out, and it's a bit odd, isn't it? You know, they lose so many rounds, and then when they finally win one, everyone survives. It's just a flawless round for them.
Yeah, why not? Well, that time it was a little bit more spread out and slow and individualistic than for Renegades than some of the previous rounds. That's where I think Liquid's really struggled on this defense is with some of the pace and some of the different executes and some of the different timings that Renegades have had, they've really done a good job of getting themselves an advantage in pretty much every bomb site they've attacked. Double up setup again from Liquid. Nitro's going to take it over towards the B bomb site. He's got Steel with him here. Naf, Twist, and Elige towards A, which is unfortunate because it is very fast-paced mid-control for Renegades, and Usilo is already at the base of Highway. Now, if they do try and go up towards A, Twist is watching with an op, and A main is controlled by Nafly.
It's very hard to hold this A bomb site when you've got this many angles. Luckily, Twist is going to pick up the kill on Nifty. That's a very good start indeed. And that was the AWP being rotated into place for Nitro, ready to take that kill on Jacob if he was going to try and get through the vent. A little bit aggressive, and that's going to be rewarded almost instantly. So looking a lot better for Liquid, gunning for that 4th round. It's definitely well within reach.
Yeah, they've done a good job. I mean, even while this mid take is happening and they know there's presence in mid, Liquid has thinned the herd on the extremities of the map, so they've really shrunk things for Renegades. It's basically just Usilo in mid and now the B bomb site. Jacob trying to see if he can create something for the team. He really wants to find a kill at this B bomb site to allow them to bust up highway and maybe catch Twist in no man's land, which is a possibility right now. They swing out. It's a very shallow angle, though, and Twist can get away, especially with help from the Molotov. He's still going right through it. He's still going right through it, and even JK's burning alive.
Oh. Took a while before that fire caught onto him.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe he could have been maybe worth it to wait on the other side. It's kind of hard to make that call because they didn't have that much time left, so I kind of understand why you still wanted to try and fight that. I mean...
Yeah, and I mean, maybe he's thinking Twist might not be prepared because the Molotov might not think he's going to come through it. Either way, Liquid do get those last two, so they do just scrape their way to 4 rounds. It's not ideal. It's not great. They have a big half ahead of them if they want to make a comeback. And Renegades, surely, I mean, if you're looking to equalize this series at 1-1, that's about the best half you could hope for. And a very, very nice spread for Renegades in terms of their frags. It was not just like one player going off and going nuts. It was everyone kind of contributing at different points.
Yeah, I agree. Like just a really, really cool first half. 11-4, obviously, huge lead for them. Win the pistol round here, and you pretty much guarantee yourself a map 3. Which for Renegades, I feel like they're going to be. I think they really want that. I feel like they probably must have walked out of the first map thinking we didn't really get much of a chance to show what we were actually all about. You know, like we couldn't really do enough, and now they've definitely got the chance.
Well, he still gives up his position, pretty aggressive in A main, and Elige is at the door and could cut him off if he realizes that he stuck around. And Alza is watching from highway, but that's not the most. It's not something you can necessarily rely on. Naf going to meet up with Elige in the door. The rest of the 3 going towards A main. You still are still spotting this, and they're going to open the door, I would assume, right now and try and pick him off, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that as well. It seemed like that would have been the obvious choice, but Elige must have heard him falling back, decided not to try and jump on it. It still looks like they're combining for an A execute, so once they go for it, there's 2 people here, another one on the highway, that's Nifty. Those are the only 3 people that are going to be there in time. The rest are going to have to sort of go for the afterplant if they can't just win the fight right away. Molotov on Nitro might be absolutely huge into that corner. You're still already a little bit low. Azza trying to make it work. You're still getting great headshots, making it a double. Azza can't find the kill, and the aim punch is just a little bit too much. But the bomb is down with 30 seconds, and Nifty staying by the forklift. He's going to get one more headshot. That's a big play. A double of his own, and now it's all on Twist. Scrambling to try and find the last couple of kills here, but he's only got 17 seconds, and they're just waiting for it. No reason why Renegades have to show themselves at all. Very smart play for them at this point. And Twist getting one and finally get shut down. Great job.
What a round from Ustillo.
Yeah.
He got goosed right at the start, down to red HP, and still handles it very nicely with 2 headshots. And that's massive. And yeah, that third player being there, those 2 kills coming out allows more rotations to come in, buys a little bit more time. But having that third player was actually huge for the Renegade side of things. And you had some nice shots from Nifty onto this. And Renegade's in full control of this game. No plant. Liquid's going to buy up. They only have 1 smoke. They got to rely on these deagles. 3 deagles on Twist, Nath, and Elige. Renegade's looking to put an exclamation point on this map and just wrap it up quickly.
Yeah, just give him a right old spanking and send him into the 3rd map. It's always a good plan. Nifty does go down, just as we were celebrating the joy of Renegades winning. So, want to be careful, obviously carry it all the way through. You'd hate to imagine what would happen to Renegades if Liquid turn around and get back into the second half here.
Naf's trying to get aggressive, and he has Elige with a deagle, and Twist was in mid-main choke point, covering him as he moved up. And Renegades doesn't really see what's coming, but they're about to have a very bad time. Liquid rotating themselves towards the B bomb site, and there's no defense here whatsoever, which is wild. Jacob now getting into position, but it's not going to be great. He would have to have some very nice shots. He spots Elige out. That's a good headshot. That's a good start. Could use more. No one from Liquid, no one else offering themselves up, although Jacob does spot it. And it is going to be an attempted retake from Renegades.
Yeah. They don't have that many grenades, but luckily JKS has some utility that can be used here. They just need to breach the vent, and then they should be good to go. You're still setting up for it. This is going to be a big retake. They need it. Renegades can't give up this one round. Just shut this one on Liquid. And if they invite them back in the game, who knows what could happen. Azza goes down. Jacob next in line. And now JKS never got a chance to use any of those grenades. Twisted the double. And yeah, moment of pause here. As everyone wonders, was that the round?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
12-5. But Liquid are going to have control of the money now, at least for the next few rounds. Although Renegade's going to buy up into this, so that's scary in a way in its own right. Nifty even investing, the Opper, so sitting perhaps a round out of the AWP, and JKS a full investment as well. 3 Deagles, 2 CZs on the CT side. We'll see what they have to offer us.
Nifty just channeling something to try and see if he could get the shot through.
Just praying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like close your eyes and click the mouse. Nice kill from Naf. Taking control of A main very, very quickly. Azza is still here. He's got to hear these footsteps, but no, apparently not. Maybe someone was talking to him. Either way, free kill. Naf's going to just continue forward, so 3 for him as he taps away with the UMP, and now the AK... These last 2 pistols from Renegades are kind of trapped, and surely they'll get taken down. Although great kill coming out until Twist gets the double. And if he had gone down there and all of a sudden it's in a 2-on-2, that would have been, I don't know, would have been nice. Would have been cool.
Why is he just flying into the bomb site, Naf? Like, what's wrong with him?
Why not? It obviously worked. I'm confused by Azza, because it's not like... We're in a studio, right? Like, there's not like a crowd...
Yeah.
You're not having... so I'm just confused with how he didn't hear those footsteps. But yeah, that third kill was a bit wild.
Just a little bit. 12-6, and you're right, he probably should have been able to hear that. Maybe he was preoccupied. Maybe somebody else was talking, you know?
Yeah, it could have been something.
A lot of people stacked, ready to get grenaded if anyone tries to throw one into the wall.
This is like the counter-NAF strategy. They're waiting. There's the flashbang. Unfortunately, he was back far enough in main, and Elige is going to get a deathmatch. She's got 4, not 5.
And Naf, hungry for the last kill. Should have spotted it out. Oh, good damage being output here from Azza. Fortunately, not enough. Another round for Liquid. The gap slowly closing now, 7-12. But it's only a 5-round gap, which is actually not that much.
No, it's really not, and especially if you start getting on this win and you have control of the money. I mean, that we saw how fast Renegades could build up a lead. It's the same way in terms of Liquid being able to equalize the score. It all starts with this round. Naf is going to be on the MAC-10, 4 AK-47s, and there's a lack of head armor on 3 players and no AWP on Renegades. No kits as well. What does Liquid bring out? 4 towards the B-bomb site. Naf and mid. They have a ton of smokes out mid just to confuse people, but here they come, running through. Nitro with the opening kill. JKS has got to survive that nade. Look good, but the adjustment that Liquid made pretty much negates it, and it's a 3-on-3.
Yeah, it looked like that grenade was going to be dead on, but you're right. They did just move a little bit too far to the left. The bomb goes down. Renegades, they've had to save a while to get these rifles. If Liquid can close this round on them, that's absolutely going to be devastating. Good smoke to block off. That's beautiful. Trying to see if he can block out anyone on that side. Twist getting one. Big kill on Azza. Now Elige in a good position. You're still going to win the fight. And that leaves Naf. The bomb is planted for him, so he can stay here for a while. He's even got the Molotov. They have a smoke, though, and Azza's already going to put it up on the bomb. And Naf, he will have heard that, trying to make it through. But that smoke on the bomb did everything they wanted. Don't have a kit, but still defusing on the site. And, yeah, they're going to have it in time. So, really, really big round. Great retake for Renegades. Saving that one smoke is huge.
Yeah, that was nice because you could see Naf actually pulls the Molotov out and then has to reconsider when he hears it plume. Still plenty of money, especially with the $800 bonus that Team Liquid's going to have. And Renegades are not out of it just yet. This would be that hard reset if they were to lose this one. They don't have anything really built up, so a chance still for Liquid to claw back into this. But you can see, I mean, it is a very simple strategy. There was one in mid, just Naf just causing some distraction, throwing all of his utility. 4 hit the B bomb site, and it ends up at least getting them a plant. There's a good opening kill from Nitro, and he follows it up with a second, single-handedly taking over mid at such a fast pace, and now the defense, if you're Renegades, you just have nowhere to go. That's the bomb down, so that'll slow things down. And allow them to kind of catch a breath and communicate and decide where to go from here.
It's kind of an interesting game all of a sudden. That kind of opening from Nitro with a double kill, I mean, if you can have even a couple of rounds like that, that might be enough to bring it back to an even scoreline. Like, the money for Renegades is still really bad. Barely won that last round, 2 versus 1.
I like this, though. You have to be mobile on the defense if you want to come back in this scenario. So Jacob and Yusilo both meeting up in mid, and they do find a Liege. And that's the go signal from for Liquid. JKS dodging flames, holding an off angle. Yusilo and Jacob are already here, though, so there's a chance they recover in this.
Yeah, that's the bomb. Committed to the bomb site. Flashbang for a teammate to try and help out JKS, and so far just surviving for a minute. Will eventually go down, still a 2-on-2. That Molotov going to have to force Naf out of position. Steel can't really help him out just yet. They've picked up the bomb, and Naf is just running with it. He's actually committed to this. Now, can Steel sell the idea? I think they know Renegades what's coming. Steel is going to try and creep in and catch them as they rotate out. Very low on health. Yusilo, how is he still alive? Absolute madness. 10 seconds, so Nef can't take a long fight here. And he's got the bomb out. That's the round done.
Yeah, what a good read from Renegades to cheat on the rotate. Also sticking together, Yusilo just barely surviving. If he goes down there and Jacob has to decide to look A or B, that gets really, really tough. But Renegades not fooled whatsoever by Liquid. Can't really fault him too much for that call, although I think Steel being so close to that choke point on the lower ramp might have been able to help take that B-bomb site easier if he just had turned around again. But regardless, easy to criticize in that moment. 7-14, and AWP is out in Twist's hands.
We're getting to a point now where they're sort of running out of rounds to play with here, Liquid. It was getting exciting for a moment because it looked like they were going to be able to close the gap, but I feel like Renegades they found the strength internally to sort of to make this round work and the second half work. And I feel like Cash it was looking like a pretty comfortable map for them right now. Their T side was good. They had really good understanding, as we said, and they kept the pressure on all the way through. The CT side has been pretty respectable.
It's the same way. They're just showing like a pretty solid understanding and a good knowledge of how to play it. JKS has pushed out B. There's a smoke, so he's not gathering too much information, but that's allowing Jacob to cheat over towards A. They're taking the risk, and it's looking like it might just pay off for him. There's the opening kill from Jacob as he gets into position. Yusilo as well chiming in. They line up for him. He gets sprayed out too, and he does. There's the 4th kill total in the round for Yusilo. A strong hold on that A bomb site, and I think that pretty much seals it.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that anything is going to happen now. I mean, for one thing, they just don't have the money either, but yeah, Renegades really, I think, making a bit of a statement. I guess one of the problems is when you have a good map like this, and your map pool might not be as deep. What are the chances that another team in the future, like tomorrow, will allow you to play Cash again?
Not a lot of teams play Cash to begin with. So
yeah, it's even more true.
Yep. So kind of sucks for Renegades, I guess. But yeah, they have looked very, very good. Smoke's going to block off the choke point.
It's taking the wind out of their sails.
It's like, congratulations, you're good on Cash. You will never play it again. Smoke's out, Molotov's out, Naf's going to be forced back. He's still burning, down to 19 HP. And Yusilo is getting sneaky. This could be checkmate. Oh, that's a nice flashbang, though, but certainly they don't clear him out of this spot. They don't check it. Why would you? He's unblind now. Easy spray down, follows it up onto Nitro. He's been great. All of Renegades has been great. And this is a dominant map from them. 16-7.
Just very well done. Absolutely beautiful. The kind of stuff that we didn't get to see out of them on the first map definitely happened on map number 2. That means we're going to go to map number 3. Great series. I mean, now I'm kind of curious. I hope it's going to be a good map for the both of them, because I feel like it's yeah, it would be fun to see them both on somewhat even territory.
Yeah, the Cash did feel a little bit unfair at one point, didn't it?
Just a little bit.
Poor guys. You just got to say, well played to Renegades.
Yeah.
And as well, I mean, you started out, and it might be a small detail, and maybe it didn't have the massive impact that I'll put on it right now, but very cool to see the very first gun round of the game, Kassad calling the timeout, handing down to Nifty and say, this is the game plan for the T-side. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Let's make sure you know what's coming and what we're going to call and how we're going to play this. And then they run out to an 11-4 scoreline. So great work between the coach and the in-game leader.
Yeah, you love that hands-on approach, to really make sure that they don't give up a crucial round like that. So definitely good job. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be the analyst desk and then obviously map number 3. So stay with us. We'll be back.
And Yanko made it clear that Renegades had won the veto in their eyes and indeed in theirs, and that cash pick could very well have been the 2-0 for Renegades had trained those. We talked about it, very, very close. It was the 2 maps that Renegades were hunting for. Those have passed now, and we do see cash go the way of Renegades. So let's kind of review it, though, Chad. I mean, what are your primary observations about where that victory came from?
JKS killing Naf in the 1v1 on the pistol round and then teabagging his dead body. That was
I didn't think I saw a teabag. I saw some bullets.
He was just like shooting the corpse.
Yeah, well, I'll classify that as BM. And
he was making a statement in round 1, Chad, is what you're trying to say.
And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. There's so many things that I enjoyed from Renegades. They punished the fact that they were able to get the mid-control time and time again, finding picks, peeling and putting pressure onto bomb sites. Then they changed the pace later on. I think it may have come a little bit too late, but they were still able to win the half 11-4. That's fantastic. And then there's one thing that got me really going. I don't know how many people noticed it, but there's a 3v3 post-plant scenario on the B-bomb site, and they did the VP retake where you smoke off B-main and Checker's door and retake the site, and I just loved every minute of it, Alex.
Yeah, it was groovy.
Yeah, they really seem to have put in some work on cash. I also like the fact that they were abusing that B-bomb site for most of the time in the first half, right? Didn't fall into the trap of, maybe we should switch it up, just if it keeps working, don't change it, right? And they were doing a great job at trading. Naf was struggling to get more than 1 kill most of the time. So the thing that I'm impressed the most with for this game from Renegades is they have not lost pistols, like an anti-force buy.
Oh, they lost the second round on the second half.
On the second half.
Oh yeah, in the first half.
But in the first half, at the very least, like, you know, they won the second round, and all the pistol rounds were, all the anti-ecos basically in general, were pretty clean, which is what allowed them, when Liquid won 2 consecutive gun rounds in a row, they still had more than enough money to buy, and they were pressuring the economy, and they managed to get that reset in the first half.
Stilo back on top with the entry kills.
Yeah, so it's a common theme with the ride or die entry fragger. It seems like he's finding his place a little bit more. So with Jacob and the team talking to Gomez, the manager once more, while the game's going, he's kind of playing better Counter-Strike in recent times.
Yeah, Jacob had a good game. As we did talk about, on Cash, it's an easier map for a stand-in to play, more open, and all of that stuff. So everything kind of got into place for Renegades in this one.
Certainly did. Now you have to kind of start looking into where the flaws lay with Liquid. This is a map that they have relentlessly struggled with. We saw the statistics. This is one of the, potentially one of their worst maps that they actually have played. What was it you noticed? What was your observations? What would you go back to the drawing board with Liquid after this one?
I think, the CT side could have used some AWPs, right, to set up the AWPs finding early picks, because it's not like Renegades were doing anything too methodical in the sense of being able to get mid-control without finding jewels. I think if they had AWPers to potentially find fights and find opening kills, it would have made the Renegades' life a lot harder. Oh, okay.
What? I think when you look at that, might be the ops. Initially, they didn't have the money for it because they forced in the second round and lost. But I think in general, maybe a bit more aggression on the CT side, a bit more variety. Usually, if you're losing rounds by, nothing happening in the first minute in terms of kills being exchanged, and you just get executed on, well, then you probably need to try and take initiative yourself, get at least some map control, if not a numbers advantage, and that's going to make it easier coming into the late round situation.
Okay, so basically, if to kind of summarize where Liquid's flaws lay, it was more about their mid-round decision making.
Well, CT side of Cage is very transitional,
you
right?
have to be on your toes.
And if you're not going to go for mid control, then when they do take mid, you have to take another section of the map.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to take it. It's like taking a chess piece, right? So if they're going to move here,
they come here, then we're going to push
exactly,
etc.
People talk a lot about people who hate Cash or teams or in-game leaders like MSL, for example. They always put mid as an example. It's impossible to hold mid. Like mid is hell and all of that. You don't need to hold mid. Like, you don't need to fight for mid. You need to fight for something else then, but it doesn't have to be mid. You can give away mid control, take A main, have an offering quad, hold highway, have two guys in B, defend against the execute. They can save their nades even, right, in case they get really executed on with Molotovs. Use a smoke to extinguish the Molotov, play for each other. You can have a rotator guy who's going to be, CT behind Z. That pop flash from, that rotator guy that comes through heaven, that pops in the sky basically. That's one of the most powerful pop flashes you can throw as a rotating player. That's why it's even possible to have one guy in the side, just have someone who's going to have two flashes to help him out. So there's a lot of things you can do. It's just that teams are sometimes, they have this tunnel vision of, that part of the map is that part of the map, and without it we're doomed.
Yeah.
I think people can look at it because the CT side can require gambles sometimes to get the right pacing in front of the Ts. It depends what they throw at you. Sure. If you want to do 3 mid with 1 on each site and then they just do a contact play, it's going to be very difficult to retake that site, right? It's just, that's maybe the trade-off in the sense of there is a little bit more gambling that can be done on the CT side of this map, and I do enjoy the stacks.
Yeah, gone are the days where VP were the mid-holding pros, putting 3 players charging up, getting in their face. And gone are the days where VP finished series quickly, because a B-Stream update, they are sweating versus MVP. I think they're to the third map now. Yeah,
New nuke.
New nuke as well. Well, that is something you can check out during our break. It is over on the B-Stream. You'll be able to find it very easily. You can see all the links over on Twitch, one of our sponsors here. Right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we do come back, we have map 3, and we'll see if Renegades can maintain form.
It's time for a third map, then we venture into Mirage, where things are about to get dicey for Liquid and Renegades. They're looking to go ahead and keep their heads above water. This would concede them to 0-2, whoever does lose this one, and things are getting scary. Of course, 3 losses, and you are out of here in the Swiss system. I am joined by a Serbian and an Australian, myself, Machine, hanging out with you as well. What's up, Janko?
Yeah, mate, we'll let the viewers at home guess which one is which.
Oh, I heard you go extra Australian.
Yeah, mate.
There. Yeah. What's the most Australian sentence you can come up with right now?
Oh, go down to the servo, grab a pack of ciggies on the smoko.
On the smoko?
Yeah.
Wow, I love it. I wish I was Australian sometime.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I think we actually have a good game on our hands. Right? So not something we expected coming into this one, right? Seeing how both teams performed yesterday, I think we agree. We thought it was going to be more or less a blowout for Liquid. But Renegades really came to play. Maybe Liquid helped them out a little bit with the veto. They got good maps in the series, and they're ending it up on Mirage, which is probably their favorite map alongside Cobblestone now. Also a pretty good map for Liquid, but neither team had much success on it yesterday.
That's true. They did, of course, concede to Astralis. Liquid couldn't quite make it. Get over that hump, and let's not forget that G2 result.
Yeah, that was a bit rough, wasn't it?
It hurts. Look at
but
that.
they both had blowouts, right? They got absolutely slammed. I think a 16-4 and a 16-2, that margin is, well, I wouldn't negate it. It's not even a thing. But for me, it's more about the tilt factor. Now, Renegades have JKS and Azza for the tilt factor, and now to describe the tilt factor to people at home, it's you probably see this a lot with Happy, the face in his hand, just sitting there like he's bored, So right. Renegades have JKS and Azza for that one, and then you flick on over to Liquid. They have 3 players with the tilt factor. They got Naf, Elige, and Nitro. They all love a bit of that. Oh, and
Naf?
Twists, actually.
I wouldn't put Naf in that category.
Oh,
He's
watch.
Cool as a cucumber.
You watch. He'll be doing the face palmy thing.
Okay.
You be watching. I'm telling you right now.
I'll
It's
keep
a
my eyes
matter
on
of
it.
fact.
We'll have some face holding, maybe some sighing down the microphone when they die. That's always a good one.
The sighing down the microphone is
that can be very detrimental for the team environment. I had a teammate like that. It came to the point where no one wanted to sit next to him, so I had to be the guy because I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
I just play, and like if someone plays, I don't care what they do with themselves. But some players it affects. So it affects the atmosphere, might affect performance. But talking about Mirage, I think something can translate here that we did touch upon briefly on Cash is, how you're maybe sometimes passive in your play. Like, you need to figure out your opponent's default and where the weak spots are. On Cash, if someone's going door every round by himself and the pop flash, you just need to hit the correct timing. You can push him, pop flash in, or go with 2 guys and make a 5v4 for yourself. Something that people talk a lot about on Mirage is the B apps, especially, mid-level players, Pugs and all of that. Oh, I'm holding B, nothing ever comes my way. And then when they come, I'm cold and they wreck me. That's your fault. It's like, if there's nothing happening on B, why are you not being more aggressive? Why don't you get more, why don't you play up front in B apps? That way you allow your catwalk player to completely focus on mid, helping out the A bomb set. You might even get a flank down underpass, or maybe go all the way around to T spawn, right? You need to figure out if there's one guy there, he's making some noise, but then your window player says one underpass, like 10 seconds after that, that's probably that one guy. So that gives you a reasonable, play to maybe go forward if you think your team needs, an aggressive play like that. If you think you need some information, if you're low in utility, a low buy or something like that. I think a lot of players really miss an opportunity there. They're just playing and jumping in the site and nothing comes their way, and then they just have to retake A 2v3.
God damn it, Janko. Now you maybe want to play B on Mirage.
Well, to run with the thread that Janko's talking about here, and we can make it a bit contextual to what we saw from Liquid versus Astralis yesterday, was, and this is historically with Liquid, they do tend to favour that B bomb site as a place they like to attack. Versus Astralis, it was a no-go. Zipnix was lighting them up every time they wanted to go to that bomb site. I think they'll have an easier time towards B. I think Renegades have made some changes in their CT hold, so I'm not quite sure who will be defending over there when we see them play. I didn't catch the G2 game yesterday, unfortunately. But another thing to note is when Liquid played against Astralis were very aggressive and wanted to take a lot of duels in middle. That's something which I'm sure the Liquid guys are going to note, that is a playstyle Renegades do like to do. As you still like to get very aggressive in that midsection. But I think it's a different kettle of fish in the sense of they're going up against an opponent who Liquid should be able to handle their mid-aggression.
They're smiling, chat.
Yeah,
so fun games
far, so
Renegades
good.
can.
Well, that's good.
I didn't see that ever since you left.
Yeah.
Smiles creeping
Barring
onto
that
the
one
faces.
tournament win in China.
Yeah, they smiled then.
Yeah, big smiles, I'm sure. We've got a fantastic picture or video. You can see it in the show reel. You can see them lifting the trophy. That is exciting. But they're not there yet. In fact, currently, they're staring down the barrel of a potential 0-2. In order to scrape away from that and level themselves out, they need this map. As the Liquid, let's jump in then with your casters as it all comes down to Mirage.
Yes, indeed, Alex. You are right as ever. Final map here in the best of 3. How are you doing, Moses?
I'm doing good. They were smiling because Naf made a dodgeball joke. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
They weren't smiling because they were excited about the game. They were smiling because it was a funny joke.
And I think he said that because I think they picked T-side even though they won the knife round.
Yeah.
So that is a bold move.
Smiles have been explained.
Yeah, we've got that out of the way.
Yeah, we've nailed it. Map 3, Mirage. This is...
Great map.
Yeah. I don't think that we're going to see Renegades being nearly as aggressive and coordinated in mid as we saw Astralis against Liquid on this map. Because remember, like that's how Astralis just battered these guys. It was like challenging every fight in mid. I don't think we're going to see that out of Renegades.
I mean, the kind of T-side play that we saw on Cash is it's kind of hard to replicate on Mirage. Like you can't. The problem is on Cash when you show up at the entrance of a bomb site. Like once you turn that corner and you're sort of on the bomb site, from beginning to end on the bomb site, it's just a very short distance, right?
Yeah.
So you're everywhere all at once. Whereas on Mirage, that's not. I mean, it may be for B, but on A certainly, you have to fight a long time before you even get sort of in there and get the bomb down. So a little bit different, and maybe Liquid could exploit that.
And you better have a lot of you need the utility to get into the bomb site as well, which also kind of gives away where you're coming from. So yeah, we'll see how this kind of pans out for Renegades, but obviously. Some successful T-sides, all things considered. They had a pretty good T-side on Trent as well, so they've done a very good job with the offense. Very good calling from Nifty. Look at this. Towards the B-bomb site. 3 players here. Steel, Naf, and Elige just there for the rush, and no one is actually in A. And what sucks about this for Team Liquid, maybe a mistake, I feel, is that since they have no one on A, there's no information. Although, now that Nitro's pushed up mid, he spots JKS rotating back. Now they know what's coming, but the retake is going to be so difficult. Naf just doesn't care, though. He doesn't care whatsoever. He's jumping in. He's going for the fight. Oz on Catwalk is going to start winning everything, though. And Jacob and Ozzo, once again, shut down any opportunity for Team Liquid to even get involved.
That was very weird.
That was wacky, wasn't it?
They had the perfect setup to stop that B push.
Yep.
Just straight up would have won the round if they had done nothing. But I think you're absolutely right. The fact that they didn't know what was happening in A, all they could hear in A were like the flashes when they were in middle. They could hear them pop in A bomb site. They don't really know anything, so they maybe slightly panic and rotate a couple of people out of B.
They don't know what's happening until one of the players who threw utility at A gets all the way back to the entrance to those B halls. And that's when like Nitro spotted it out and was like, oh no, he's going back to B. It's going to be a B hit. But by then, like you saw, Naf had to like desperately jump out of the window to even have a chance of getting a kill. Investment. There's some pistols on the board for the Liquid side. 5 players heading towards A. There's only 2 players here. Elige, that would have been a cool double kill, but it's not going to happen.
No, unfortunately, that would have it made it very awkward for the other 3 players to get out of A ramp if that had worked out, but it didn't. When the bomb is down and everyone seems to be circling back around through T spawn, can they maybe try and pick up a rifle up there somewhere? Maybe make that part of it work. Either way, Renegades off to another good start here, which is what you want to see if you're a fan of the Renegades. JKS stealing the Galil and running away. So the rest are not going to have much of a chance. Maybe just save the C sets for the upcoming round. There's not much really finesse in that round, but it worked. So who cares?
No, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot of finesse in some of their cash rounds either. It's just kind of like some very good trades and brute forcing into the bomb site. So continuing that trend here in the anti-force buy. And then the other thing to note is I'm pretty sure everyone from Liquid invested in that round. So there's no money on the oppers, which both maps they've been using double op setup. So Nitro, Twist, Naf, all those guys, none of them are going to have the AWP into the next round. So it's going to have to be 4 or 5 rifles.
I mean, if that is what works against Liquid, if Renegades have sort of decided, okay, if we crush an MTP, a cannon off 4 heads and just run into a bomb site while shooting AKs all around, then it's great. Should do that.
Yeah, they're going to do it again, it looks like. Just walking over to this A bomb site. No utility, no nades on Liquid. They're setting up for a mid-crunch, but Renegades is going to circumvent that, just like you said, just setting up and going into the A bomb site, all the utility. Naf might as well keep his armor. Same with Steel, even with the no head armor. No reason to force yourself into rebuying that into the next round. Steel can't really upgrade into head armor, but it might not matter so much. They're going to try and get some AKs. Even a Galil would be nice. Maybe even a UMP could make them happy.
Well, there's one. JK going down. They can pick it up and try and make a run for it, unless they get caught by JKS, who is in the apartments and can maybe close them out. Yeah, they're actually getting boxed in quite heavily.
Which is smart from Renegades. You don't want him to keep that AK-47. You want to take all those guns away, and that's a good start. Now Nifty's going to peek from the other side. Twist has that AK-47, and it almost feels like there's no chance he gets away with that. Nicely done, yeah.
I really like this. I think...
Ruthless.
Yeah, but I realize we're making sort of a bit of a joke out of it, but I actually think... Let's say the antithesis of this kind of Counter-Strike is the one where, you know, you're very hesitant and you're sort of you're all the time sort of second guessing yourself, and I hate watching that. It's so obnoxious, you know. So I really like this from Renegades. I think this is great, you know. Like, as long as they can keep it up, as long as it still works, then by all means just keep doing it, because Liquid have to be. They're the ones that have to prove that they can come up with a solution, that they can stop this madness.
They've got to do it without a whole lot of nades. Mid control goes the way of Renegades. Liquid really can't fight for it. Nitro is blocked off by smoke, so Nav has to get passive. And it's all down to timing between Jacob coming up catwalk and him. They get into a bit of a duel, and there's a good win. Actually, Nav isn't even touched. Molotov into the window room. Nitro is forced away. All of Renegades kind of centered around this A bomb site. Ustillo in connector, Azza in mid. Nifty and JKS are going to come out of Palace.
Plenty of time, but they have to make their move eventually. Nice little Molotov down towards Twist. Would have been really great, but they don't get one. Instead, he's going to get a kill, very nearly a double. Can almost attribute that one on Nifty to him. That's the round thoroughly closed out by Liquid. So, first buy round, and it works out great for them.
Needed it as well, to have all 5 players survive. Build up some money, make sure you can kind of sustain some of the losses you may take. And it's going to get a little harder before it gets better for Team Liquid. Nifty's going to have the AWP into this round. They have full utility. So does Liquid, to be fair. Naf actually swapped out an M4 thinking he was going to get an AK-47. He picked up a glow. That's depressing. That's a facepalm moment.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen. But that did look like it was going to be a slightly more elaborate round from Renegades. I understand why they want to take that position against Naf. Ooh, that's a great flashbang. No chance at all for JKS. Now Liquid sort of answering back a bit, saying, you know, if you're going to just be that aggressive, maybe we'll just catch you off before you even get close to the setup. Which
is really good. That's what, oh, that Galil really failed Naf there. So yeah, definitely going to be frustrated with that one. There's a gap in the smoke though, and Jacob's going to fall prey to it. Steel has got a couple kills over towards the B bomb site. 3 HP left on him, but he does a very, very good job. And this AWP hasn't even been able to get involved. Hasn't fired a shot yet in this round, and he's down to 24 HP as well. And it is good to see Liquid open up this half with some aggression, like that Halls push. It's one way to get yourself kind of like artificially focused, is to be proactive in that sense, especially if you just spent all of cash on the CT side, like never really having a chance as well. You know, you were kind of taken out of a lot of rounds just by the lack of success, just by the openings that Renegades were taking. So I like this start from Liquid on the CT side, certainly.
I think Yanko was making this point. I mean, he was using the example of the B defender, that people sometimes complain about the fact that they don't really have anything to do, and I think Yanko is right in saying, well, just, you know, find something to do then. You know, instead of waiting around all day, just, you know, come up with a solution that's going to help out your teammate.
Yeah. It's not always the easiest thing to do. I will say that.
Listen, Yanko doesn't want to hear that kind of talk, Moses.
I know. No, he doesn't. No, I mean, it's obviously a very good idea, and when teams are successful in being aggressive in the B halls, it's a huge benefit to the rest of their defense on the other side of the map.
One flash for a bomb plant. Azza just put it in, and they're down on the side. It looks like they're going to get chewed up a little bit, just in time. Well done. Not at all bad.
No, very good investment. Very good return on the money. So the extra $800 is going to go a long way for Renegades. Yeah, they have they're flush with cash at the moment. They're going to get anything they could possibly want. Azza can drop the AWP over to Nifty as well to ensure that he can get full kit. So 3-3. Renegades on cash hopped out to what, it was something like 8-1 or 9-0, something crazy like that before responding. And Liquid in this one doesn't let it get that far ahead. They've built up a good amount of cash behind their buys as well. They've had a very successful stretch of 3 rounds, only losing 2 players across all 3 of them.
That's very unusual. That doesn't happen all that often, so they should be quite happy about that. trying for a blind shot, not really connecting with anyone. Does obviously reveal the fact that he had the AWP in the window, but I don't think that's a big surprise. Naf being very aggressive. This is some really bold play, but I like the style from him. He's going to win the fight against Jacob, and the flashbang from a teammate is there, so he can actually get back alive. That's so well done. Azza does get him, but Nafly, again, from beyond the grave, just reaching out his fiery tentacles and taking down Azza. Now 3-on-3 as JKS does pick up the kill on Twist. And what's going to happen next? So much time left in this round.
Yeah, this has been a very scrappy round, and I like the response from Team Liquid to help Naf fall back. That aggressive play, he Molotovs the underpass stairs. Elijah is there to protect anyone from peeking from top mid, and that works out. Naf does take that fight. The trade comes out. You can see the plan to allow him to be aggressive and then also retreat and fall back if he could. Elijah catches 2 players in mid off guard. That Molotov comes in but doesn't do nearly enough. And that's the turning point in this round. That's what kind of seals it. Steel's now going to take the opportunity to get aggressive in towards B halls, making Yanko proud.
I think whoever Elijah was fighting in that second fight, I can't remember now.
I think it was
Justillo. I think Justillo's AK bullet caught the railing. And I'm not sure if that's what saved Elijah, but there was a definite spark flying off one of those metal bars. So that is, if that's true, then that's obviously very, very annoying. Hate to see that. 4-3, the scoreline. That's Liquid bouncing back, not just a little bit, but just
in a big way.
Wrecking ball back into the game here. This is, yeah, I understand why Seuss is sort of, just looking a bit content in the background, happy that things are going well.
Just chilling. It's got to be fun to be a coach when your team is on like a nice 4-round winning streak. Well, Nitro with the AWP in the window as well. Trying to find something, maybe a timing through the smoke, and we'll see. Is Steel going to get cold? He's been over at the B bomb site. They haven't really gone to him a whole lot, and he's going to have a chance here. And he's going to eat a flashbang, Molotov out. He's going to get back into the corner, turned around. Naf is here to help him out, cause a distraction, and they're all burning. So, yeah. Didn't fall asleep on the play, and obviously things get heated up instead of going cold.
Quite literally a Brazilian barbecue, right? My favorite thing, Moses, as you know.
Wouldn't that be the Brazilians in the fire if it was Brazilian barbecue? No.
He's in charge of the barbecue, Moses.
Okay.
He's the one, you know.
Yeah. He started the restaurant, a little Fogo de Chao up there.
Yeah. That's
your jam?
Why don't they have Fogo de Chao in Ukraine, Moses?
I don't know.
Or do they?
They very well could. We haven't really looked into it, have we? You've been ordering pizzas, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sadly true. Well then, 5-3. We're about to move into the 9th round. Looks like it could be a very quick hit here towards the A bomb site. So back to the basics for Renegades. This has worked out for them in the past, so why not try it again? The aggression has really been the key for them on the previous map as well. There's Steel taking one and Twist picking it up with a big double kill. And Naf closing out all the rest of the kills. So they tried, but they just got completely isolated. They just got pinned in all across the map.
They got drowned by utility usage as soon as Liquid saw the smokes and the Molotovs coming out and saw the presence coming up A ramp, because Renegades tried to catch them in kind of a transition to get set up in the defense. They tried to just kind of pop up A ramp and find some players in the open, and since it didn't happen, they had to deploy their utility late. But meanwhile, I mean, the screen we were watching was, this is the previous round, was Elijah just bombing flashbangs in the air, bombing Molotovs in towards Palace, making sure that if the execute on A still does go through from Renegades, that no one has to worry about any player coming out of Palace. That was his responsibility, nailed it perfectly, and the flashbangs really slowed down the rest of the hit. We do have a tactical timeout from Renegades.
Or a technical one, I think.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think they couldn't talk to their coach for a minute.
Yeah,
so.
the coach was muted, so it's going to take they're going to get a little extra time. But obviously, Kasad wanted to talk things over because that execute was just kind of a disaster. And now you're at a point where Elijah has 15,000, Nitro has 14,000, Steel has 10,000.
I think it comes back to the thing that we were talking about, because they can flash their way through the initial smoke on the ramp.
Yeah.
But then they still have to cover a lot of distance, right? Like then it's not like on Cash where they flash their way through the smoke and then they're in the fight. Like they flash their way through, then they take up a new position, and then they have to sort of wait there and bait up a fight. Like it's hard to run all across the A bomb site to try and get the fight against the people on Connector on Jungle. It's like people don't normally do that and get away with it.
Well, I think it's part of the risk of that kind of a play is when you pop up a ramp like that, you want the fights to be like immediate, and when it's not, when you don't have that success right off the bat, like killing that player at triple or killing a player inside the bomb site, then you have to slow things down and find cover and throw the smokes towards CT spawn, towards jungle, towards stairwell, because then you actually have to cross into the site and get in their face. And if you don't have the utility in the other choke points, that makes that kind of impossible.
Double Galil, AKs on the rest, and still that AWP on Nitro. So Liquid now winning 6 rounds in a row. And we've been saying surviving with so many people all the time, and that's really great. Just a tag from the window, that AK-47 Unleash, and then the AWP follow-up. Pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah, the old bait and switch. Really nice job from Elige taking the aggro.
Oh.
The timing of this play. All right, Elige. This is awkward. Well,
I mean,
what can you say about that one?
Could have gone either way, but unfortunately for Azza, he was slightly looking the wrong way. Can't really blame him for it, unfortunately. So, just some random timing there. Justillo goes down. Twist gets the perfect timing on him as well. And Nifty and JKS now 2 versus 5. They must have just an enormous amount of money going into round number 11 here. If they don't lose anyone really here, it's going to get out of control, isn't it?
They're going to have 2 players at 16k after this round if they don't die. Now Nitro's at 11 HP, so he's one of the ones that could be there. Molotov's out, Naf's going to bail him out, and could get a second one. Nitro just trying to occupy that. Nade's going to do the trick. Nitro does go down, but yeah, they're going to be, they're so rich. It's unreal. 7-3, it's 7 straight.
That's a huge bank that they have to deal with. Very tricky for Renegades. And I also feel like now, I don't know, what do you want to see out of them, Moses? What's the play that they can make here that hasn't been tested yet?
I think they need to go back to mid control. I don't think you're going to win too much, even if you just do like a straight up A execute, which it looks like what they're going to do because there's just so much utility. But the positive thing for Renegades is they're calling this at a very good time in terms of the strategy that Liquid is called, because their attention is obviously on mid. It's only Nitro here. He's got to play retake. That's a good adjustment to pick one out of the sky. But JKS is going to salvage an AWP towards CT spawn. He cannot recover in time. And a couple follow-up kills as well. This is a completely different Liquid than what we saw on Cash. They're looking good. Azza, the last one left, and getting flanked out. Although, they do a good job of getting 3 kills, so they're starting, they do eat into that money just a little bit.
Yeah, oddly enough, in a round where they had next to nothing in the beginning, they actually have an impact.
Yeah, it's like I said though, it's mostly due to the benefit of calling that kind of A hit when there's only one player in CT spawn and Liquid is going for aggressive mid control.
There's a place on this map where you actually can go for that kind of rush and get close and not get completely sort of choke pointed at the B hallways. If you smoke window and connector and rush catwalk.
Yeah, we really haven't seen any fast, aggressive plays in mid. Although, to be fair, like every time they've gone mid, maybe they're just trying to shy away from it because Elige has wrecked him a couple times when they've gone mid. Naf had that aggression towards top mid that was successful. And Nitro's got a couple picks with the AWP from Catwalk. So they've ran into a couple nightmares in mid, and maybe that's why they want to go away from it. But I almost feel like they just kind of have to go back to it and they just need to, as silly as this sounds, just need to do better. Like, you have to be able to control mid at some point. You have to be able to prove that you can get it and hold it without taking losses of, 2 to 3 players.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a good idea. Nifty has got an AWP finally in the hands again, so maybe that could be a path to a little bit of success.
Yeah, but Liquid's going to see that up and raise you 1. Twist is going to pick a second up for the team. So, switching things up. New look defense.
That might be very annoying.
It didn't work out too well for him on Cash.
No, but I feel like Cash just wasn't Liquid's map at all. That's how do you even explain that to your teammates? How did you die? I was practically on the corner of C spawn and they just ran me down.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about it from Team Liquid is that they didn't even throw a flashbang. Like, they didn't telegraph they were doing that at all. It was just literally a straight up rush. So a lot of confidence coming out for Team Liquid behind this 8 rounds they've won straight. And this is also, what this double op setup is allowing is, well, there's an op going to be at A and CT spawn on the stairs, but Nitro has an op in the B tunnels, and the fact that he sees absolutely nothing, Elige is now going to push up those stairs just in case, but they can have a very mobile defense, and they are kind of misreading the situation, though. We've got a lot of players towards the B side of the map. There's a chance here for Renegades to get a couple kills and get into this A site.
Very variable defense as well, because this time Steel is holding in a position that he hasn't really been occupying before. They're all focused on CT spawn and jungle and everywhere else, and Steel is going to get an easy kill. No chance at all. They can't even communicate in time, you could tell. As just, I mean, they're just everywhere.
At that point, they didn't have the manpower to clear out the bomb site. So this is obviously going very, very well for Team Liquid. This is turning into a real stomping.
How's it going for Renegades, Moses?
I can't imagine it being too much worse.
Yeah, that's true. They've, you know, it's hard to imagine that they found rock bottom at this point. So can only go up. Tactical timeout being called by them. 9-3.
At this point, you just use them, because if you don't get rounds on the board in this first half, if you don't get one, like you need to get like maybe 2 of these last 3 rounds, and if you don't, you're not even really going to get a chance to use timeouts in the second half.
My feeling has been, watching Cash and watching the beginning of this map, that Renegades sort of perform better when they can sort of initiate a lot of chaos and then just sort of, you know, roll onto a site and you know, it's all chaos. And I feel like Liquid have just found the solution to that now. Like, they just know how to stop that, and Renegades have not found, like, there doesn't seem to be like a second layer to this where they can sort of say, okay, well, now that that's done, what do we do?
Renegade's going to fall into another A hit. Maybe thinking back to that half buy they had where they got into the site, got the plant down. There's going to be more Liquid here at A, though, to mount a defense. Elise just checking mid, making sure his back is secure, because they have an AWP and CT spawn on Twist, so they can kind of rely on him to stay alive, just take a shot, maybe get a pick, and just live. Renegades might have to re-execute, though. I mean, these smokes are going to disappear pretty soon. They only have 2 smokes left. There they go. So set up the wall again, but Twist is allowed an opportunity. With 1 miss, he's just going to fall away, make sure he can hold on to CT spawn. Naf surely will join up with him.
Oh, no. Shooting at your teammates, Nitro. He was fired up behind that, but got to be a little bit worried. Twist holding the CT spawn. This is actually very smart. Naf is going to be coming around the corner. Gets the shot even if he's halfway flashed, and you're still out. Barely gets a double kill. Down to 19 health, and he couldn't stand for the 3rd one. There's a bit of a spray from Elige. Almost could have taken out JKS as well. I feel like Renegades had the right idea. They had the right movement, but they don't get the bomb plant just yet. And how does JKS possibly hope to win this 1 versus 2? Oh, yeah, there's the bomb. But as soon as he plants, surely 1 grenade from Steel could be it. That'd be the round.
He doesn't have the angle quite yet to throw that. So JKS, he's going to try and thin this out and do a one-on-one. No one's available. Steel and Nitro have done a very good job of meeting up and getting together. 20 seconds. JKS is actually going to make his way over towards the B bomb site. And he's going to have to make a step. 10 seconds. He's going to have to start running, but he's got to win that fight first, and he couldn't even do that. Steel, that internal clock, letting him know that it's a possibility for JKS to get behind him.
This was a round where they got close to jungle and CT spawn, so they were able to take some of those close fights. But you could tell, I mean, a good indication there was Naf and Nitro defending CT spawn. Like that's Renegades want to force that fight so that they can win it and fully get control of CT spawn while the bomb is going down, and that never happens. Like they never get that control. I feel like they had the right idea, I think, and they almost had it working, but it just wasn't quite enough. That's
just good theory from Liquid, and if you're an A defender, maybe think about doing something similar, especially if you... Oh, wow, Steel gets caught out. Molotov going to come out just to prevent them from rushing into the site. They're going to take a lot of damage to do it. Oh, no, not too much. The smoke extinguishes the Molotov. I think Naf's been spotted out, so here's a good round from Renegades. Surely they can turn this one into a victory. They have recovered an AK-47. No reason not to go for this for Team Liquid. 2 rounds left, and you have plenty of money.
Yeah, Twist is going to get 1 kill. They really only have 1 AK, so... Oh, great flank here. Nifty walking into the back. Needs to kill quick, otherwise the retake could be working. There's 1. Great job on Nifty. That pretty much secures this deal. Trying to see if he could tap the bomb, but Nifty's got such a good position. Doesn't have any armor, though, and he's maybe a little bit too aggressive. Didn't realize that was a fake in Elige. Now with the triple. That's such a shame. I feel like he did everything right in that position, but just towards the end, got locked out.
Both the flankers having massive success. I think Elige caught them off guard as well when he retook that bomb site, so... That sucks. that one is the real kicker, isn't it?
11-3, Moses.
11 straight is the big thing.
Yeah, this is out of control.
And there's never been any problems with money. That was the closest round, I think, of this entire half once the guns came out.
Yeah, out of those 11 rounds, they've had 3 bomb plants. So, but a bunch of rounds where they've just
2 of them were on force buys.
Okay, the more we explain it, the worse it gets, I feel like.
A good kill from Nitro. He's going to go back for more, isn't he? He's feeling it. Oh, I thought he was going to get that through the smoke. Elige is in connector as well to make sure they can't just run through that smoke and get close up to Nitro and surprise him. Naf is here as well. I think they boosted him up. Mid control has not been kind to Renegades, as Liquid has done a phenomenal job denying them access to that portion of the map. And really denying them access to pretty much everywhere on the map.
I feel like Naf is just having too much fun playing this first half right now. You can just tell that he's all over the place. Nitro will go down. That's a great shot from Ustillo. The kind of opening you want if you're going to try and get back into the bomb is still circulating around T-spawn, slowly making its way towards the A side. And they have good positions to open up the A bomb side, I think.
I mean, the question becomes, how does Steel play this? Does he want to stay in the bomb side? Because now that they don't have eyes on mid, he could either push up B or almost you feel like he could push up Catwalk. Naf is going to meet up with him. So, entrusting the A bomb site over to Twist to at least get 1 kill if that's where Renegades heads. But they're really feeling like this is going to end up at the B bomb site, and it doesn't look like they're going to be wrong.
No. It's so unfortunate for Renegades. They've been very patient, hoping for somebody to make a move. Now, Azure is moving in on the other side towards jungle, so if they can just get the bomb down, then they're going to be in a perfect position. Azure, all the way now as they move in. 10 seconds left, making a bit of noise. There's JKS down. Ustillo gets 1 more in return for the triple. He's picked up the bomb as well. Trying to see if he can get that plant down with 2 seconds left. Oh no, Moses. Of all the ways you could end up losing that last round, is running out of time and no chance to not plant that bomb. That's 12 rounds in a row.
It took him a long time to make that decision.
Yeah.
To end up at the B bomb site. And obviously a really good read, a really good call by Team Liquid to have both rifles at B. The op just playing very passively in CT spawn. What a half.
Yeah. It's been like a wild rollercoaster ride, all these 3 maps, but now for Renegades, it's like the rollercoasters, they ran out of tracks, and now it's just gone straight into the ground.
Once again, you've gone dark.
Yeah.
It always gets there in the end.
All the park guests, all of them dead. No insurance company is going to be able to help you recover.
Jesus Christ.
No Christmas bonuses for anybody.
Oh, bless it. Bless your heart. 12-3. That's with Renegades winning the pistol and the ensuing 2 rounds. 17 kills on Naf against his former opponents. Steel at 15, Elige at 13. Twist and Nitro, the 2 ops, were quiet. It was the rifles doing all the work. That was, you can see there, 5-1 in op kills for the magnificent Van Dolken.
Yeah, I mean, Renegades they've got some kills sort of scattered across the board. It's not like they're not doing anything, but it's just, I don't know. Liquid have just been out of control here. Really not what I was expecting. I have to say I thought it would be much closer than this. Deep smoke landing all the way towards Catwalk, making sure that maybe they can try and go for some sort of mid play early on here. That Molotov, maybe not what they were expecting, I think.
No, they wanted it in window room. Didn't they prevent any kind of peek? But no one was there. Ozza's going to swing out wide. There comes the flashbang. He's completely blinded. He's completely destroyed. Nifty is underneath the balcony. He's surely going to go down. No, he gets double kill with headshots. And Naf now coming out. Still, he's alive. Somehow, Nifty is almost unkillable. And Liquid have taken him so long to get control of the site that they might just be put out of this.
Oh, that's a stunning shot from Ustillo. I thought he was going to get trapped reloading in that corner, but somehow Renegades turn it around and they win another pistol round. So could be a ticket right here to getting 6 rounds on the board, Moses. Don't laugh.
It could be. What did I say before the start? 16-5?
Yeah, I think you did.
Pretty close.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Don't wanna cut them up early, Moses.
That's a good point.
A lot of deagles.
Lot of deagles.
All the deagles. Like I was saying earlier, you should obviously we'll dual wield the deagles, you know.
That'd just be insanity. Well, that's a good start. Elige finding that. Where's that from? Oh, it's from Palace over towards Jungle, so gets caught out, and ooh, Elige is able to get away. He does tag Nifty, and at this point, these deagles, which is so dangerous with the tags, although Twist isn't able to find one almost, but I think JKS was doing just enough for the aim punch. All this attention towards the A bomb site, though, and 2 defenders there has allowed some semblance of mid-control. Jacob's going to peek out wider, but he thinks better of it. If he's to fall here, that would be tough to recover from.
Nav spots him out. Still going to be going down. No armor, so you're absolutely right about the aim punch. Always a big issue. And looks like they've managed to stabilize a bit here, Renegades. So scary when the first person goes down in the round, it's a deagle shot, and you just think, oh man, there's still 1 minute and 30 seconds, and this could happen again. You're still a great position with the UMP, just sound play coming out of him. Just really stepping it up the last couple of rounds here. That's a 12-5 scoreline now. Yeah, he's actually leading the board for his side. You still that is.
You still? Yeah, he's had some good maps here. He's great. He was good on train to start things out. Ozza at 10 and 14, not far behind, just 1 kill behind. 12-5, no real investment from Team Liquid. So 16-5 isn't looking likely.
No, it's hard to imagine that that's going to happen, but we've seen worse.
That Molotov is well timed because Liquid really wanted to hit that, and by the time they're able to, Ozza will be on the flank. I thought Nifty would be coming up catwalk, but Yso's in a great spot to spray a couple down. He gets traded immediately. They'll at least get a bomb plant out of this, which is super nice. It'll help them recoup the losses from the Deagles. And here comes the retake. Ozza's going to have a very fast flank. I don't think they're going to be ready for this timing either.
No, you have to think that they won't. Big grenade there with no armor on Steel. He takes a lot of damage, and Ozza struggling a little bit to pick up the kill, but the grenades and the M4 JKS will pretty much do the rest here as Jacob does go down. It's all done. They lose a couple of players, and they give up the bomb plant. So you got to think that's still a pretty big, successful Liquid, but wasn't enough to win the round.
Yeah, I think they really needed that bomb plant to kind of help out with the extra $800 because they bought up some pistols and utility that round, because they bought the Deagles in the previous run. So that extra $800 is going to be quite kind to them. Nitro can get the AWP if he wants it out on the 4th round.
It's questionable. It's going to be no head armor, right? So I don't know.
Doesn't want it. Double op set up on the CT side, though, to start things out. They're not messing around whatsoever.
Quick in the middle. Jumping down alone, in fact. Always a bit scary when you end up in that position, but Nifty just taking up position with the AWP, and Molotov went somewhere else.
I'm not totally sure where that went. I didn't catch it. Either way, Liquid falling back to hit this A bomb site. Here it comes. Utility being used. Molotov is pretty well timed, all things considered. Twist is going to take a decent amount of damage, down to about half HP. They're doing the same thing. Smokes are covering Connector and Jungle. That's 3 players from Renegades on the other side of the smoke, on the wrong side of the smoke. So Liquid should get a plant out of this.
A good beginning. Very open bomb plant. Now, the one thing is they don't have any more grenades. Nitro will pick up one, but the trade is in. Nitro again, getting the triple headshot, taking down Azzer, and that is a big problem for Renegades. They needed that. They needed to keep it going, but they just get shut out of it. Nitro crouching and spraying through that window, and he's going to be falling down, ready to look for the exit kills here, or the closing kills, I assume. You're still out running. JKS sticking around. Ooh, interesting. Could have maybe got a shot in the back of Naf, but you never know how big of a risk that's going to be.
Nitro wants this kill. He's going to find it. That's actually huge. There is not a lot of money on this Renegades side. 3 players sitting right around 2,000. So that final kill onto the AWP was massive in terms of what they can bring forward in this next round. All they have is AK-47. If you're Renegades, this is a tough call. And remember, they used...
I'm going for it. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
They listened.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, they don't have a whole lot of options. And remember as well, because they got so battered in the first half, they used 3 of their 4 timeouts. So if you're going to make this comeback, you don't want to use that last timeout too early in this half. So Nifty on the AWP has it towards A, aggressively peering down A ramp. JKS peering up towards Palace, and Ozza at the top of Connector.
Yeah, I like the setup. I think when you bring the AWP this far forward and this close range, there's always a chance that people sort of just aren't expecting it. You know, internally in their mind, they're thinking, if I'm going to fight the AWP, it's probably going to be by CT spawn, where it is like 90% of the time. So Yeah.
On the other hand, there's not a single set of eyes on middle, which is allowing Steel, Legion, Twist to walk the entire way.
Oh dear.
And they're not even going to be spotted until JKS sees him, where he's going to be out in the open. He's already dead. There goes Nifty, and there goes Azza. So, I'm glad you like that setup.
Yeah.
Like, it is perfect that you said that right before that sequence. It was good.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, obviously, when we go and play the DreamHack Open, Moses, I will be calling the strategies.
I mean, in all seriousness, that's not necessarily like a bad setup. It's just unfortunate. Like Liquid had the perfect counter to it, right? Which was just walking up connector with a contact play and making no indication you're coming. And in another world, if that's more of an execute towards the A bomb site, perhaps that goes far better for Renegades. But essentially, at this point in the game, with the money the way it was,
they are just ruthless, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just don't care anymore. Ready to get up all the kills. Liquid. It seems inevitable that they're going to be able to pick up this this last map in the series and take the series overall. We are on the third map, but I mean this. I don't know, like Renegades. Yeah, they seem a little bit out of it.
Yeah, I mean they never really got a good feel for that T side. And it's not an easy thing to recover from when you lose, 12 rounds straight, 12 gun rounds straight on your T side, even on Mirage. So, yeah, very, very tough. And this has been, I mean, I think the more important thing is not so much focus on the Renegades aspect of being out of it, but how well Liquid has played this game so far.
Yeah. But it's almost, I almost feel like it's slightly worse the fact that you win both the pistol rounds. So, you get the you get the 6 rounds. That's normally what we sort of try and explain to people is a situation where you're doing good, like that's it, you're well on your way to winning the map, and then that's all you get. Really shocking. Now, about to be 15, that is map and series point for Team Liquid.
Yes, both of these teams coming into today 0-1 in the Swiss system. Liquid obviously 9 opportunities to win this series.
Obviously our panelists are going to be it's going to be, Yanko defending Kassad, and it's going to be Chad defending his old team.
No, Chad did call 2-0 for Team Liquid.
Did he?
At the beginning of the series.
What traitor. It's going to get wrecked either way, wasn't it?
Reasonable. 15-6.
Yeah, just overall, I mean, is it, what do we blame this on? Is it the depth of the map pool for Renegades? Is it just the fact that they, they've got Jay come in, things are a bit weird, they don't have the strength on as many maps as they want for a best of 3?
I think it's probably a combination of all of it. I think the real issue, I mean, this is a good map for Liquid. I think the real issue is they kind of squander that lead on train. Like, if you think about it, they had a very good, ooh, that is a great adjustment from Nafly. But they had a very good start on train, and they had some very cool stuff, and if they're able to close that out and then play cash the way they did, maybe the series goes in their favor 2-0. But once you get to Mirage, Liquid's so strong on this map. Despite the loss they took to Astralis yesterday, which was like a stomping in its own right, it was 16-4 or something crazy like that. Liquid's still solid on this map, so as you can see here, able to run that one back, and you also hit a series where, I mean, if you look at the players for Liquid, the people who were kind of going off, Twist, Elige, Naf, like even Nitro having some big rounds, these are the guys you expect to kind of carry you through, and those are kind of the stars of your team, so it's not an easy Team Liquid to really beat when they're hitting this kind of level.
The thing is, when you